damn it.
All right, enough about Cheers here.
It's gonna say,
IRL sexual tension.
All right.
Mod, I love you.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
All right. Oh, looks like we are live now. Yes, we are live. Welcome, everyone. It is Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That means it's time for TForce RPG. It's a long story. A custom little tabletop RPG game here with me, LaShock, the GM of the game and head of TForce RPG, and where we currently run a custom Pathfinder tabletop game with a bunch of our community shoutcasters and podcasters. Mr. Crazy Phil as Venrus Long Arrow, Mr. Kargan as Kargan, Mr. Mott Ganorum as Hiram the Swift, Chira Jaden as Chira Jaden, and
What's up?
Mr. Haberdashing as Haser. So, where we left off with last week's episode, the group had managed to talk the Demeye out of immediately marching to war over the circumstances of the death of their bride of Nathaniel Demeye, Angelica, also daughter of Eremos, and they managed to get them all with the aid of Tabitha Demeye to teleport back to Victoria Point and deliver them to the dinner that the negotiator and the other heads of state were currently hosting. And they kind of crash into the dinner there with the rest of the TFAPs, except for Haser, who stayed behind to keep an eye on things, and Kerto to make sure that, because I think he's suspicious that Yurik's up to something. But
I'm just worried the place is going to burn to the ground if we're not all there.
That is a fair worry. That is a straight up fair worry.
It's a fair worry if we are there.
I thought we were invited to dinner.
I
I didn't know we crashed
You
it.
were, but you declined it.
We just got there. I didn't decline shit.
So just, a small announcement for everyone out there, that we have decided for the, the clarity of purpose and narrative and everything, and because some of the systems have been getting a little bogged down and complicated, we are going to be switching from Pathfinder to 5th edition D&D and some upcoming sessions here, simply because I feel like it's going to make it easier for us to focus more on the story and the characters and less hung up on the mechanics, which have been starting to get a little out of control in some circumstances. So, and Mr. El Negociador is out sick, so he will not be making his guest appearance this week. So, without further ado, where we come back into tonight's story is with Venrus, Kargan, Hiram, and Chira attending the dinner of El Negociador and the rest of the leaders of Vestralon, and accompanying with them are Tabitha, Nathaniel, and Deacon Demeye. So, where we left off there, they had just popped in and declared their presence and began discussing and arguing with Eremos when they so bluntly delivered the news of Angelica's death.
God damn it, I forgot Mod did that.
Thanks, Pod.
Hashtag Truth Ranger.
Hashtag Trooper. He's tracking the truth.
What?
No!
What-
no,
what-
Truth Ranger, you're a badmouth!
Favorite
What
enemy
would-
civil
yeah.
discussion.
What would Hiram say right now about the truth?
We gotta find it. That's what we gotta do. We
I need to
gotta
have that memorized.
we uncover it, and
If you look hard enough, you can find the truth in all things.
Listen, the paper that I have it written on is really loud when I move it, so I'm gonna free ball it from now on.
Oh, well, he may not say much, he's still learning the basic virtues, let alone the 3 founding principles of which they're based on. So, where we are, and Haser is currently back at Victoria Point, keeping an eye on things.
Kerto.
I'm sorry, Kerto, wow. Anyways, so, you guys are on dinner, the bomb was just dropped, Eremos had to be settled back into his seat, and you're standing there with And
I fucking hate this chair.
for those of you in podcast land, Chira literally just nearly fell out of his
My
chair.
my chair, it has like a lock on it, and the lock popped, and I fell backwards.
The best
I
part
apologize.
is for you guys who are actually out in podcast land, you're not hearing this because I just edited that out.
God damn it.
So
Oh.
Chira
And that.
was popping
And
his
this.
lock in and almost dropped it like it was hot. So
All of that.
all right, so you guys are there at the table, and everyone is looking at you. You're standing there because it really doesn't. There wasn't enough seats set up yet. They had to start bringing in more chairs, and Arimos is being settled back into his chair. Begrudgingly glaring at you guys and Nathaniel and Deacon and Tabitha.
Oh, boy.
So, what now?
Can I have some wine?
One of the serving people gets you a glass of wine.
Yeah, I'm gonna need like a strong whatever the Stormhaven guys are drinking. I order 2.
Well, please, my friends, now that we have chairs, take a seat and we will discuss this latest development.
It's not a bad negotiator.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, don't have quite the same oomph, but I'll get there.
Yeah.
As they bring you chairs and make room for you, and everyone's watching you carefully from around the table.
Carefully, what did we do wrong?
You just dropped a bombshell in the room.
I didn't want to. That wasn't in my.
I'm
Wasn't in my
just
list.
saying what happened, okay?
I know.
So,
So clearly we have a tragedy on our hands, and the most important thing before we let our emotions get control of us is to figure out the truth of the events, what happened, who it happened to, and uncover what the big plot behind this is, because it clearly wasn't any of the Demeyes. Why would they kill the wife who they just rescued from the castle? It's got to be something with an ulterior motive who assassinated. Demeye families, can you guys give an account of what happened to the group here?
Nathaniel sighs and kind of looks up and he goes, we just went to sleep one night, and when I woke up, she was there next to me, a dagger in her throat, and there was blood everywhere. Whoever did it in the either through means of magic or through or an assassin in the night that snuck in and did the deed without even waking me.
And
Was there
any
any-
Lumalia? I'm just saying.
Do you have the dagger or any other evidence from the event?
Deacon already showed the dagger earlier. He goes, yeah, got it right here, and you'll see it's got Arimos' crest on it, and he puts the dagger down.
I look up expectantly at Eremos.
What say you?
I didn't know this was Hiram the Swift Ace Attorney. No.
Yeah, I was about to
It's
say.
really not. It's really not.
This is great.
Well,
This is
the
the
best
worst.
part is I wasn't there for any of this, so you guys showed up and were like, look, she got killed with this dagger, so I was going with it.
No, I keep telling you, shut up, and you're not.
So Arimos.
Take control, Kargan.
I'm trying, but you just. I'm not drunk enough.
Arimos looks over and he goes, I've never seen that dagger before in my life. Yes, that has my crest upon it, but do you seriously believe that I would arm someone to kill my own daughter with a dagger bearing my crest?
Can I sense motive that shit?
Absolutely.
Oh, natural one. All right.
Can,
You know what? He knows something. You don't know what, but he knows
Yes.
something.
while he's doing
I don't know what yet.
While he's doing that, can I look around the room to see if anybody is reacting? I don't know, like particularly notable, like maybe nervous or
Sense motive.
ooh, a sense motive. I don't think I've rolled one of these before.
I'd like to do the same thing.
Good luck.
As part of the
14.
as part of the TFAP drinking game, every time someone does a skill roll and Chira goes, "I'd like to do the same thing." Take a
God
drink.
damn it!
All
You know
right.
Can we
what?
start that, by the
There
way?
you go.
I'm
Yeah,
totally
fuck
down.
it, let's do that. It's a 5, so there we go.
By the
Fuck
way,
this game.
that's 2 because he just said, "Oh yeah, I'll do that."
All right. So what'd you get, Hiram?
14.
14. So looking around and trying to gauge everyone there, everyone seems rather surprised or, like the surprised or dismayed in some fashion or another. They definitely, a few people, though Thomas Marshall, the representative from Avery, seems more or less bored or apathetic.
Mhm.
But almost everyone else seems, genuinely concerned or like intently paying attention to what's going on, to the discussion on hand. And apparently
Okay.
Hasser has the Master Sword.
Ah!
Oh.
Who's getting ready here?
I'll get mine. It's bigger. I want to.
Okay.
I want to kind of like lean in towards Venris and under my breath say, "Can you do that thing that you did to the pirate in the cave where you asked him those questions?"
I can do so many things with dead bodies. You don't even know.
Oh, hey.
I kind of lean.
Very dead body of Angelica in Kerto.
I lean back away, regretting my decisions, and go over to Kargan and say, "Well."
I lean back away, regretting my decision. Quote of the night so far.
IRL.
Does the dagger have any blood on it?
It has dried blood.
Ho, 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 ho.
He's gonna start
Jackpot.
licking the dagger.
I'm gonna stand up, or
Oh, jeez.
assuming I wasn't. And Deacon, can I have a look at the dagger if you don't mind?
For what reason?
I'm going to identify or try to identify the killer through magic.
Everyone kind of looks around. And your father leans forward. And by what magical means will you be attempting to identify this? And will it be able to produce any form of proof or something to the rest of the assembled people?
I turn really quick. Maybe. And the spell is...
God damn it.
The best answer you could give to your father.
Was that a questioning maybe or a conviction maybe?
I'm going to be casting blood biology.
Blood biology. Oh man, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I've cast it before, like 3 times.
It's like the 4-question thing.
Yeah. It's a level 3 spell.
God damn it.
Okay.
Who are you? What are you? How is your bloodshed? When was your bloodshed?
Yep.
Okay.
These are going to be super vague answers.
Oh, yeah.
Angelica's still in Kerto.
But there's blood on the dagger.
Okay.
You
All
have to
right.
have at least
all right.
one drop of its blood. All right. So, and what is the spell that you will be casting, son? If you tell us, then those of us of the arcane nature will be able to either emulate it or to verify its potency.
As I said, blood biology.
Biography.
This is
I'm
like
not
a fucking
familiar
spelling bee.
with blood biology, but I believe what my son...
Biography, whatever.
This is going great
I
already.
believe that my
Oh,
son is
God.
wishing to say that he will use blood biography.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah, tomato.
Fudge.
I have.
Tomato.
Does anyone present have an issue with this? Thor looks around and everyone shakes their head.
Oh, here comes the incoming next layer of this whole plot. Go on.
So, what flat surface are you designating?
I'm gonna guess where all the drinks are. I'm just gonna toss it aside.
Oh yeah.
Because the answers to the questions appear on any flat surface you designate: a wall, piece of paper, etc., etc.
Oh, a piece of paper then. That's easy.
Okay. So you take out a piece of paper.
Yep.
Okay.
But you just knocked the drinks on the floor. Now you have a piece of paper. What?
And I
You
laid
needed
it.
a place to put it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Your theatrics get more and more absurd by the year.
All right. So
I'm gonna roll a reflex to make sure that I catch my beer.
So you begin to cast Blood Biography, and on the paper, what you see is the first question answers Angelica Demeye.
Okay, that's a good start.
The second question
That's a terrible
answers,
start.
the second question answers female human priestess.
Ooh.
Oh no.
The third question says, I was stabbed in the night by an unseen assailant.
Damn it. All right.
A female priestess. Are you, Vendors, have you shared that info with us?
Well, I'm gonna hand it out to everyone so they can see later. But the last one?
And then, no, because then the last one is when. 1 second here. And when it says when was the bloodshed, and it says 3 days ago.
All right, so we've learned absolutely nothing. Good you for the spell, everyone.
Oh
You
man!
didn't go
I think-
backwards.
I think the party now knows
On the
that.
it says 3 days ago on the Lunar's Eve of Cerelodon.
At least it wasn't Lumalia. Let's just put it that way.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know
We
that.
The
don't know
unseen
that.
assailant.
She's not a priestess.
Wait, what's Sorella?
No,
That's the
it's-
monk.
That's
Angelica.
That's
is-
the monkey.
Angelica is a priestess, not the killer.
Oh, I thought the
Yeah.
second question was who shed your blood.
No.
Oh.
To answer your
I'm not
question,
known assailant, but I'm pretty sure it was a priestess. Just had a gut feeling about it.
Bloodthirsty priestess.
I'll pass the note around to everyone so they can see clearly, assuming that it's in common.
Yes.
so when you find that
Yeah.
so clearly the poor young girl was not able to see or identify her attacker before she was killed. This does not much more to help us except for to say, he stops and says that the murder happened the very night of the first meeting of this summit, your father says, passing the note around.
Good observation.
Well, I do know how a calendar works.
He's got us there. We don't know how this calendar works yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little convoluted, but I think it's cool. Anyways.
Kargan, Chiro.
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're expecting out of me. I was waiting for glorious spells.
You guys were there.
I need-
been hanging out here.
For me to investigate further, I need the actual dead body.
No.
Both Nathaniel and Aramos both jump up and it's just like, never, no, you will not use any necromantic magic upon the body of my daughter.
Yeah.
If
no.
you want any
No,
answers,
no,
that
no.
might be the only way.
Listen,
No,
I don't know
not really.
who held the knife, Aramos says, but I can say that the whole reason that she is dead is because she was next to that man, says pointing
Yeah.
at Nathaniel, and was associated with them. The fault, even if the blade was not held, the fault of this lies on the Demeye.
That is a huge accusation that's just based off of anger. I'm gonna need you to step back for a second
I'm gonna
and
need
not
you-
accuse the people who cared. I'm gonna need me to what?
I'm gonna need you to roll diplomacy.
Oh no.
That was more intimidation than anything.
No, not hero. Can you let me have my moment and roll the one skill that I'm good at? Like, Jesus, drink your beer, okay?
Yeah, because
Aaron stands for the truth.
Lord knows he never does a perform check. No.
30. It's a 30. It's a 30.
He
Christ.
he takes a deep breath, doesn't say anything, and just kind of nods at you.
Not to mention, who's to say that this unseen assailant would have just not invaded your castle as well? Like, if it seems they're pretty good at what they're doing if they're able to kill somebody while somebody's sleeping next to them.
More importantly, I believe this whole thing has been orchestrated. Because let's be honest here, if Eremos, you had anything to do with this, I believe if you had the tools and the ability to send somebody in the quiet of night and slay somebody, you might have just been capable to do that to Nathaniel, or less just steal away Angelica herself.
Yeah,
And the fact that they had left a dagger with your crest only leads me to believe that whoever did this wanted this conflict to continue. And we have to have strong heads about this and get to the bottom of this, unless we continue to fight and squabble while we lose ground in other areas that we don't foresee just yet.
Yeah, the question that we need to answer is who in this world would have any reason for the demise and the current reign of Tirnog to continue to quarrel, possibly without end, over something as bloody as a murdered wife and daughter.
Who is to say that this is merely about the demise? Rob Tug leans forward to the table and says, would this not stand as something to perpetuate the two of them fighting more, the rebellion and the current king? Perhaps this would weaken both of their positions to make room for an ousted prince. He looks at Bloodbane and the Elder Long Arrow near accusingly.
I look at Rob Tug. Rob Tug, I like you.
God.
Though to be fair, Rob Tug says, leaning back, neither Timshold nor Ternog, to the best of my knowledge in any of the word, both above and below the level, have heard that they've had men that are capable of such shadow walking in the midst of the night. No, the only place that I know that has such assassins under their call and training, as far as an organization would go, would be Asiam Hastam.
Oh.
I have heard.
Fucking cogs!
And at which point, Damien looks over and goes, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Damien. I did not mean to offend you. It's just that merely one of your attempted brainwash trainees, a young catfolk girl, has ended up in my area and told us an awful lot about the procedures going on there." Damien just kind of glares. The two of them just start kind of glaring at each other, and at which point Morris slams his fist onto the table and he goes, "Gentlemen, ladies, we are here discussing the tragic loss of a young woman, not at the moment it's pointing fingers at each other or bringing up reasons of old grudges or power struggles here." The red-haired King of Stormhaven looks furious.
I want to kind of whisper among the party. Maybe this is our opportunity to get the Demise and Eremos alone and more on the same page, so we can come at this with some strength behind us. Maybe use this as a chance to at least get them on neutral ground.
And I whisper back, that was the plan before dinner, but you ruined it, asshole.
Listen,
I'm
we
going to
need
stand
to
up and yell, "I'm going to cast Detect Magic on the dagger. Nobody harm me." And I'm going to do it.
Okay!
The dagger does not detect this magic.
Don't
God
worry,
damn it.
guys. There's no magic behind it.
Thanks, Fenris.
Can you confirm it's a dagger for us?
Everyone, please! Oh my god, I just butchered that accent that time. God damn it. Anyway,
You can always splice his audio in later, right?
everyone, please! El Negociador sends up and sends down there. Everyone needs to calm down. There's a lot of hot heads going on right now. And we are getting nowhere and getting nowhere fast. The loss of the girl is tragic indeed, but in all realities it does sadly little to change the true reality of the situation. We have still two claims to the leadership of Ternog, and one claiming to completely do away with the current regime to start something new. Regardless of the unfortunate demise of this young girl and her connection to two of the parties, we still must be spending this time figuring out what needs to be done here. Otherwise, there will be nothing but a large war on hand, and as a united Vestralon, we will lose strength in the area of Tirnog when its citizens fight one another. And the room goes quiet.
Cheer up, Kargan.
Can I eat dinner?
At which point, Nathaniel kind of he stands up and he goes, I don't have a head for all these politics. The only reason that I'm here is because we found a scrap, a piece of information, a mere glimmer of hope that where old lost magics of resurrection could be. And I mean to pursue that, even if it comes to my end. He looks over to the lore master Ariel and says, I have notes from my grandfather that said that he was searching for it out in your great wastes, but your tribes would not work with him. And I seek your aid. I seek to go find it, whether or not I have your aid. I will traverse your great wastes, and I will find this, and I will bring my wife back, or I will die trying. Arimos leans back and looks even more angry, but says nothing.
Can I figure out why he might be angry or why? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't think everyone has the same attitude for resurrection that
resurrection hasn't
Nathaniel may
happened
have.
in forever, so it's it could be a fool's errand. He could look at him as running away from it. It's hard to say. If he's not saying it, you're not really going to be able to judge what he's thinking.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
All right, talking amongst ourselves, I want to ask the question, do we want to let the rest of this night play out and just have dinner and make small talk, I guess? Or do we want to try to get the Demise and Erebus together now?
Hey, we're kind of in a dangerous situation right now. We have to kind of gauge it out. Since everyone seems to be open on the floor of revealing secrets at dinner.
Well, you got mad when I took the lead, so now it's your turn.
I'm not mad. I'm just trying.
That was the most passive-aggressive thing.
Look, we weren't even invited to this, and we just came in. We've ruined a lot of people's dinners tonight. I mean,
I was invited. I've been working hard these past couple of days. What have you guys been doing?
So
Meanwhile, Eremos still mourning the loss of his daughter.
Eremos stands up and he goes, I have lost my appetite.
And your daughter.
Oh.
Thank God he's not here. Oh, thank God he's not here.
He gets up with his two attendants and they just leave.
Now might be our chance.
to what?
To go talk to Erebus one-on-one.
I'm pretty sure he's not in the mood to talk either. But we can
Alright.
try if you'd like.
Well, I guess we'll just eat at the dinner we were invited to.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'd take Erebus' seats.
Oh my
Can you-
god.
Oh wait, no, I already had my own seat, right?
Yeah, you had your own seat. So then Lore Master,
I just take his food then.
Lore Master Ariel of the Sand Tribes says, "I will go and contemplate your request," and gets up and leaves with her attendants as well.
Yeah, that never
Anyone
ends well.
actually notices that the representative from Avery Thomas is now actually leaning on one hand asleep at the table. Morris has not touched his drink. Sovereign Casil is kind of like just looking at her, kind of arms folded back, looking down in contemplation. And Damien and Rob Tug are just like exchanging really angry glances at one another from the corner of their eyes.
Awkward.
So what's the game plan here, guys?
Are you asking us, or are you asking the entire, like...
Asking the party.
I vote we go talk to Eremos, and maybe not with the Demeye, but at least put the bug in his ear that, like, we are clearly being screwed with here, and we need to come together and get on even ground if we're going to survive this.
So you're leaving to go find Ariemos?
It'd be
I-
arguably
that's-
better to unite them through tragedy rather than allow this to lead to war
Right.
anyway.
We're not saying settle the politics here. We're saying someone
Let's get
is
to the
out.
bottom of it.
Right, someone's
So-
out to keep
So
us fighting.
are you guys just talking amongst each other at the moment, or are you going to
Yes,
like, are you going
we're
Yeah.
speaking amongst ourselves.
at the
but
table
I think we've come-
where everyone else is watching? Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, you keep saying you're whispering, but it's... I think people could probably still hear you.
I think what Hiram says is true. While this is a tragic moment, it could be used as a moment to unite back the people of Ternog, for it would suggest that there are outside forces that are seeking to draw war upon its walls.
I think, ultimately, we need to come down to the why before we can get to who. As hard as that is for a lot of people to grasp. Anybody who's willing to go to such lengths and murder an innocent person just for the purpose of kickstarting a war has to have bigger plans in mind.
There are many things that we still do not know. I, for one, rather is still interested into why Eremos disposed of the former king, yet will not tell us what the reason why. I have a hard time casting votes with a man who cannot openly state his cause.
It's
Right?
it's troubling as well. Maybe some heart to heart might be able to open him up a bit. I can go and speak to him if you'd like.
Do what you must. I have much to contemplate for my own decisions for the grand city of Victoria Point.
Thank you, negotiator.
The elder Long Arrow looks on the table. While I agree that none of the vested parties seem to have any real reason to kill this young girl, do you really believe to cast some sort of shadowy puppet master into orchestrating this grand war?
Well, a lot can be gained by having this war continue out. So I think that somebody with ambitions for the throne would go at any length to ensure that they succeed.
I think it would be foolhardy to assume too much into anything other than there are motives here, things that we cannot perceive just yet.
Right.
And
We have to focus on the truth.
And this is hard for me to say, but to leap to assumptions would be foolhardy.
That is merely what I am saying, is that while there could, if there is indeed some sort of shadowy puppet master trying to orchestrate this war, if we have no idea who it is, it does little to change the situation. It is nothing more than assumption and hearsay. And again, does
But is it not worth investigating?
and did not say to not investigate. I myself will apply my own agents to look into this, as I feel that everyone else will and must. For if they are orchestrating a war within the walls of Ternog, what's to keep this sort of individual from orchestrating war at any of our other locations? And
With all due respect, Mr. Longarrow, I would believe I would like to have an outside party that has no bias to the current conflict investigate this problem.
As I said, all parties should. Not just myself. I would not dare to assume to say that I will investigate it and no one else will. I merely said that I will be and that anyone else will. Mind your station.
Smug dick.
Fight.
Perhaps, Kargan, perhaps it's time for us to go and speak with Eremos.
I have a
the
question.
look on Kargan's face right now is priceless.
When
It's translating very well into the podcast.
when we find whoever is the cause of all this, I'm allowed to kill him, right?
Or
I
her.
would believe
Or
that-
her.
I would believe that most people would require some form of proof to know who this was, before it's just some sort of.
I mean, I'm gonna figure out what happened, but
I'm going to give
While
that
I am
one
s- while I am
to
certain
Nathaniel
of
or
your-
Eremos.
While I am quite certain and confident in your grand investigative and deductional skills of logic,
That's
I
sarcasm.
would believe that majority of us would
I
like
got it,
to
Carson.
see this person brought to justice so that they could be exposed publicly in front of everyone.
and then I can kill him.
I was going to say if death is such a purview that you need to satisfy yourself, but I believe your history already speaks loudly of that. As he reaches over and gently puts a hand on Widow Bloodbane's shoulder.
Well, this situation is more of the point that I said that I would tear out whoever's responsible heart and present it to Nathaniel as a gift for his loss. I feel that I'm kind of bound to do so at this point.
Well, I feel that this dinner has reached the most that it can at this moment with the number of people who are drawing themselves absent. I myself must wish to go and contemplate this and see what information that I can dig up. I bid you all a good night, as El Negociador gets up and leaves the tent. Other people begin to as well.
All right, well, we've ruined dinner, boys. Congratulations. We may not have murdered anybody, but we definitely killed the mood.
And
that
which
was
is
awkward.
worse?
So what is, as the remaining of the TFAPs watch the dinner depart, we'll kind of cut away over to off in Kerto with our
Ooh.
good friend,
Hey.
the follower of Garako, Hasser, has gone and found his old friend and merchant buddy, Magnus, at his temporary
Magnus?
location in Kerto.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter the, I guess you could say barn that he is currently using as a crafting headquarters where he's overseeing people crafting things and helping them out. He goes, my friend, Hasser! He runs over, grabs you by the shoulders and gives you a big hug. I'm glad to see you healthy and fine.
I'm glad to see that your business has not been too affected since your move here.
Well, I would not say business. I'm not selling anything at the moment, but merely I am providing, crafting as much materials as I can for the war effort.
I see. I'm surprised to see you in such good spirits given the, events of today.
Oh, well, you see, when being a merchant is your life's calling, you recognize that all things tragedy and triumph are merely things that happen in life and the opportunity for you to push forward for yourself regardless. So, the young lady is dead and that is sad, but life must still go on.
You do realize, though, the death of Angelica could lead to more tumultuous events that may impact yourself and your enterprise.
My enterprise has lasted through many difficulties, my friend, and I think that, while this may be a difficult one, it's a risk venture, if you will, and while I am sad for her passing, I never had the pleasure of knowing the girl, so I can only be... My sympathies can only go so far into the general vicinity of I am sorry for everyone's loss.
Hmm.
And, war is already potentially upon us.
Well, we were trying to prevent that before we came back, and well, we still are. That is why the rest of the party had gone back to Victoria Point with the summit. However, I decided to stay behind and see if there was anything I could find out as to the nature of the killer,
Oh,
who they may
yes.
be, and any information you could provide
Well,
or help.
well, my friend, I myself don't have any information upon the killer other than what I've been told. They had not asked me in to investigate anything of it, or, my services have been spent supplying the war effort.
Is investigation another specialty of yours?
It is not. My specialty lies in enchantment and crafting and salesmanship and in strapping young holy men.
Bow, chicka. Bow, chicka.
Perhaps another
Wow,
time. My interests right now lie with finding the truth.
Well, certainly, if there's any way that I can be of assistance, my friend, I would be more than glad to help Hasser, but
Well,
I do not go where I am not asked or bid welcome, and into the household of a grieving family.
I understand. We have suspicions about Yurig and what he's been doing while we were gone. Do you have any information on that? On him?
What is it you wish to know about Yurig? I have seen him occasionally to and fro from here.
Do you feel, is there anything off about him? Anything that, doesn't seem quite, right, that he's not, supporting the cause fully, or he has his own intentions?
Well, the man is certainly a dick. He
Well,
is not well
yes.
liked by many a person, but he seems very well motivated to the cause of the rebellion and overthrowing Eremos.
Hmm. Well, right now, as far as suspicious people within Kerato, he is high on the list, so to say.
I see, and who else is on this list?
Names are still being generated as I find new information.
Well, I would hope for the sake of our friendship and everything that my name would not be considered there.
I cannot assume anything right now, Magnus.
Well, as I'm afraid I have spent most of my time doing what has been asked of me and attempting to see to the equipment and everything that for the most troops, it's just the best that I can do, for funds are not something the rebellion has high of, but I have high hopes for them.
Yes, well, I thank you for your information. It was good to see you again.
Certainly, friend. And may I say that shirt and gloves looks quite fetching on you.
You do make the best.
He smiles.
I turn to leave. I want to go out. But what time is it right now?
Right now,
Would
it's-
Yurig and some
it's-
of the other people still be
it's-
outside practicing?
It's like becoming nightfall at this time. Like it's pretty much dinner time.
Okay. I want to go to try to find where Yorig and a lot of the other soldiers would be.
Okay. Make a diplomacy check for gathering about, trying to find where they may be.
Okay. Uh, 24.
Okay. So you ask around, and oh yeah, the people recognize you and like you, and they're like, oh, they're over at the inn, having some drinks and some food.
Well, thank you. And I'll go over to the inn and kind of just like stand around in the back right now with a drink, just kind of observing the situation.
Okay. You come back to the inn that this seems like you weren't at all that long ago, earlier today, and as you return to the come on in, it's filled with a lot more people now. and you spot Yurik and the other members of the Hawks over at a table in the corner, kind of, drinking and being like a small level of merry.
Okay. They have drinks in their hand right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go over to them and challenge all of them to a drinking contest.
Oh boy.
Yurik looks up at you. Oh, so drinks, huh?
I'm buying.
Well, if you're buying, then I will gladly drink you to the point that you see your god.
You may try.
Well, bring it forth. And he clears room on the table, and a couple people step up there and are ready for your drinking contest.
Alright. I say we do away with the mead and other less strong drinks. Let's see what this bar really has.
Oh, well, if you're buying top shelf spirits, then don't let me stop you.
Alright. I'm gonna put 50 gold down on the table to start.
Fuck. Okay. The bartender brings over, a bottle that is like, it looks like he brought out from underneath the bar. There's a lot of dust like on it. It has no label. He goes, this is some good old stuff right here.
Is it Rumpelman's?
No.
Oh.
That will do well.
This comes-
What is it that we shall toast to?
a free Turnog.
I can toast to that.
And the
I slam.
yeah, shots.
Bleh.
Constitution check.
Me?
Yeah.
Alright.
Good.
Come on. I need this plan to work. 17.
All right, yeah. Whew, all right, you're good. So and you guys start going round for round. He gives you the next one, and he goes, "So, what exactly are you guys doing here for the rebellion?" As he takes a shot, asking you.
We just come back from Victoria Point looking for more support when we stumbled in on such an unfortunate scene.
Are you taking your second shot?
Oh, yeah.
Then need another fortitude or Constitution check.
12.
Okay. You feel it a little bit, two of these shots, they're strong. And he goes, oh yes, that's right, you were the diplomats. So how'd that go
Yeah.
over there? Did you get any support, any assistance going on?
We're looking to finalize everything. That is why Deacon has left with the rest of the party to go back there.
He downs the third shot while listening to you and nods.
So, we've been away from Kerto for close to a month now. I see that the training has been going very well.
Yeah, they're all willing and eager soldiers. They know what they're fighting for.
Good, good. And what is it that they are fighting for? A free Turnog?
Free Turnog. They're fighting to control their own destinies going forward into the future. No more kings, no more aristocracy.
This must be a little odd for you, seeing as the Hawks were supporters of the kings in Tiranogue.
The Hawks never got involved in politics. We were defenders of the city. We hunted down things that were dangerous to the well-being of Turnog. Monster slayers, bounty hunters.
I understand, but
We
if
had
what Lumalia has told me, the Hawks do have a tie to the throne and the bloodline, the royal bloodline.
The Hawks, I'm not sure what the whelp told you. She's not very well learned, if you take my meaning.
Yes, I know.
And yes, the Hawks have ties going back to the to Ternog from its founding. We were the first organization. We were the right hands of the first king. Raxon himself served and helped, was the right hand in the founding. Of course we've had ties with the city, but not loyal to the king. We're loyal to Ternog. He was the king of Ternog. Of course we were loyal to him.
So you feel no obligations or any qualms handing the city over to the people for a grand republic?
Listen, we are loyal to Ternog and what the spirit and will of the people of Ternog are. You know, Arimos killed the king and disbanded us, kicked out hundreds of years of tradition out of Ternog. We had a place in this society. We were an important part of our culture. And he just threw us out like we were nothing.
Okay, I give him another shot. And you think that the new ruling party, if there should be one, will favor the Hawks as well? Reinstate everything?
I think that the people will want the Hawks back and what we were and what we offer to the people, especially with our support in the rebellion. I will restart the Hawks.
Okay, I look around to like the other Hawks that are around here. Do your compatriots feel the same way?
Damn right, a dwarf with a thick black beard and a ponytail says. That's why we follow Yurik. He was one of the guys looks over and goes, he's got the right idea. He was the highest ranking member at the time that the Eremos threw us out.
No,
He's
that's
one
good to
that's
hear.
kept us all together. And he takes, some of the other Hawks are looking a little worse from wear after 3 shots of whatever this is. You need to make another Constitution check, by the way, for your
All
third
right.
shot.
Yeah, 17 again.
All right. You're, like I said, you're just feeling it a bit, but you're like, whew, this shit's strong.
Getting the good stuff. Oh, okay. And I should have thought about this a little bit more. Had a better, line of questioning.
Plan of attack.
Yeah.
It's okay. The alcohol's kind of interfering with your plan at this point.
Yeah, yeah. So, we had not heard much of what had happened. We only arrived as the funeral was going on. I didn't have a chance to talk to anyone. What do any of you know about what had happened?
Girl got killed in her sleep. Someone snuck in, put a dagger in her throat. Looks like Arimos' crest. Must have killed his daughter if he couldn't have her. Shrugs.
Can I make an not insight, sense motive?
Absolutely.
Isn't 5th edition just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19.
19. What you gather from the way that he is speaking is that he doesn't seem to really care about the death. It doesn't seem like
Okay.
he's lying or hiding anything from you, but he doesn't seem too overly concerned. It's like an afterthought for him.
You really think someone such as Erimos would go so far as to kill his own daughter?
He killed his own king.
Yes. Well, the way that he says it, he had his own reasons.
Well, so then he'd have his own reasons for killing his daughter.
One would think the reasons would have to be very, very strong to do that to your own kin.
Listen, when you're an oath breaker and a traitor, where's the line?
I see this is not too much of your concern. I pass him another shot.
He takes
What's
it.
done is done.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be war. Death's gonna happen, and if you're visible from the top, then you're likely to Be targeted.
Visible from the top, what do you mean by that?
The heads of the rebellion, you know, the Demeye family, the daughter of a king, you know, I mean, these are the sort of people that are going to be targeted in these sort of things.
Well, the question I still have is, why not target the other domains directly? If Ariamos's aim was to stop the rebellion, why not Deacon? Why not Nathaniel?
I don't know. Maybe they wanted to hit them where it hurts before than just kill them. Maybe they wanted to make them not think straight. Maybe they weren't thinking straight. I don't know. Ugh.
I want to ask sort of the same thing. Look over to the other Hawks, who now have had
The other
Under
Hawks
shots.
are... The 3 shots in, the other Hawks are kind of down on the table. And it's just you and Yurik. They've already been drinking beforehand. And you're pretty much drinking stuff that's used to strip oil off of gears in Avlery.
All right. Well, it seems it's you and me now. I'll pass him another shot.
He takes it. I need another constitution check from you.
Damn it! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Whammy.
Okay, no, 18.
God damn.
Yeah, the two of you are just like looking at each other most intently while taking these shots, like you're both so too stubborn to pass out drunk. It's like, look, told you I don't have the answers. All I know is what I'm fighting for and what these people are fighting for. You think I did it? Is that what this is all about?
I am just looking for insight into this situation. We came into this place not knowing much. I find it hard to believe Erimos would be the one solely responsible for this. So I am looking for answers. You and the Hawks, we've known each other longer than I've known some of these other people in Kerto. So, I come to you looking for answers.
Well, you want answers? You know what, I think you're an arrogant son of a bitch.
Oh, really?
Good answer.
Yeah. I think all of you and your friends are. But hey, who am I to judge? I'm told I'm an arrogant son of a bitch.
I believe the term they used for you was Yurik the Dick.
Yeah, well, it's probably because I fucked half their mothers.
I hand him another shot.
Oh my god!
He takes the shot.
Damn it!
I need you to roll for your shot.
Okay. Not 20, let's go, baby. Oh, yes. 19!
What?
Staying alive!
They're both rolling really well. It's pretty interesting. You know what? What if I did know something?
What if you
Take the shot. Take the shot.
Take the shot.
Here's the real question. You should ask yourself, Hasser. If I did do it, or I knew who did it, why would I tell you and not the Demise? And if I was behind it and you knew, why would I let you walk around talking about it?
I'm not implicating anyone right now.
It sure sounds a bit like it.
I just come for a drink with friend, and I hand him another shot.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Do we want to get like a side table going on how many more this is going to happen before they die?
This is not 1-1. This is the last
Hold
one.
on, hold
The
on.
bottle is empty, right? It has to be.
He's just like,
Shots aren't much.
I'm not.
They've had like
I'm not
14 between them.
I'm not your fucking friend.
Oh, he's out.
Face down on the table.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
Make your Constitution check.
Okay. Don't pass out now. Don't pass out now. Don't pass out now.
Pass out.
12.
Nope. Hasser meets the table.
Oh my god!
Oh, God.
Oh, it's so close. I was so close.
Fuck.
Not in one, baby. Called it.
Every drink was imposing another penalty onto your future
Yeah.
throw.
I know.
Oh, you're gonna feel that in the morning.
Oh, damn it.
Yes, you will feel that at some point after you took a large amount of of basically pure.
Wait, did I have to drink that last shot, or were we downing him at the same time the
You were
whole
downing
time?
them at the same time.
All right.
You,
Damn, I can't weasel my way out of it.
No.
I assume, though, under the tenets of Garako, that you would not choose to even enter a liquor battle unfairly.
Well,
It seemed pretty fair to me.
you see, I'm not so lawful when it comes to rules. If I need the truth, I'll try to get it.
Unfair.
So
Nice
I was
bag.
kind of implying, like, I give him the drink and maybe he takes it first before I take it, or as I'm holding it up to my lips.
Religious justification.
I wasn't, like, throwing the shot out or something or trying to sleight of hand that shit.
Oh, God. Well, I guess I was assuming that you were shooting at the same time as him.
Yeah, I should have said something. Oh, well. I'll
So
just pass out on the table.
Yeah, you will.
Maybe I can wake up before him.
that is possible. You did drink less than him because he was drinking before you.
All right, come on. Give it to me. Or am I having a dream? Are you going to do that dream shit to me like you did to Kargan?
Well, you
Yeah.
have a dream of us
Oh, no.
clipping the audio here and taking a short break.
Oh!
It's a nightmare.
So for those of you in podcast land, hang tight. There will be another episode coming soon. We're going to go ahead and put the audio here. Episode 19, part 1. And those of you watching us live and in YouTube, hang with us for a few minutes while we clip the audio to be able and export. So that we'll start for the second part of 19, part 2. So hang in there with us for a few minutes. Remember, always check us out on Twitter at TForce RPG, as well as on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course through the TrinityForceNetwork.com website. You can find us with information there, including like how to play games with our community. We have 9 weekly games going now. It's pretty ridiculous. There's even a 5th edition Friday game that is Disney Princess themed that still has room for people. So anyways, check us out, and we'll be back here in a bit, and hang tight. Exporting my audio.
So, what would I have needed to roll for that?
What you need
for that one.
For that of 15.
15. Damn it.
Yeah, because you drink essentially like the equivalent of like what was as the joke says, used to strip engines.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget,
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire primary.
Woo!
Yeah.
What did
Burn for
happen?
Bernie.
Oh,
Who won
the
the
bun.
I
Oh.
can't see it.
100% of us here at this RPG table. I still want to do like a game of like all the
Trump.
presidential
Oh my
candidates.
God, Trump won New Hampshire.
Are you serious?
Oh God, burn it, burn it down. Let's
Oh,
go.
okay.
Let's pack it up.
I really still want to do that though.
Oh, 33%.
You know, I
of
had an
the vote.
idea for a
Even second.
like graphic
Basic.
novel or whatever
I like
idea,
15.
where it was like, battle royale, where all these people are fighting to the death for something, except for it was going to be with clone versions of all of the U.S. presidents to decide who would be the next U.S. president.
I need to look up that Reddit thread and who would win.
And what was it? Tyler would, die like immediately into it. There would be a dynasty
Tyler?
battle. Wasn't that Tyler? No.
No, that was
Harrison.
William Henry Harrison died
yes,
early.
Yes,
Yep,
yeah, he died within 30 days of office.
30 days.
But there was going to be a great showdown between, the Adams dynasty and the Bush dynasty.
I give it to
Didn't they
Bush.
make that in Celebrity Deathmatch?
I don't know, but I wanted to have like a big, battle of all of the U.S. presidents, and I have no idea who it was.
There would have to be a moment too where like Taft would like look like he died, but then came back later.
I think that you mean not Taft, but Grover Cleveland.
I did. I totally did.
Yeah, he would die.
Or-
He would die in 2 non-consecutive occasions.
God damn it.
So
Or
Sanders,
Reagan.
Bernie won 50% of the vote. 57.7%
Oh, okay,
of
good.
the vote.
57.
Yeah, Clinton won Ohio at like Iowa rather
Iowa.
at like 0.02.
No, I know, and that's not even like totally.
Right.
But he
Yeah.
needed to have at least 56.3%
Trump,
to get a.
Trump got 33.9%.
All right,
Who came in second, third?
Kasich, then Bush, then Kasich or Bush and Cruz were tied at 11.6%.
Bush? And what the fuck?
Yeah, then Rubio, Christie, Fiorina, Carson.
Okay,
Gilmore
so
girls.
I'm done exporting. Is anyone else done export? Oh, Cheer's not back.
I
yet.
have 30 seconds left.
We're-
Shot,
Where-
read off our iTunes review that we got.
We have an iTunes review? What?
Yeah, thank
A
God.
new one?
I'll look it up here.
Oh.
The one that isn't yours, Cargan?
Oh yeah.
No,
Sp-
is that mine?
Yeah, Sparky put that up a while ago.
To read it off.
I have commented on Sparky's level of interaction as our fan on quite a few times. He literally
Wait, what?
is our Twitch chat most of the time.
Wait.
I understand that, but
Wait, who is this?
iTunes review.
Divine Sparky. He gave us.
Oh
an
yeah,
iTunes,
the
he gave
hero
us
of Twitch chat.
Yeah, and he gave us an iTunes review that isn't Cargo.
Oh, nice fella. I should probably do that too.
All right, you
I
ready?
don't like tooting my own horn. What?
Let's go.
Is everybody?
Export.
I am not ready.
Okay, can we? Yeah.
Oh boy.
I want to get on with our in-game politics and not real-life politics.
What does that even mean?
Everybody was talking.
All right.
Everybody was
I'm-
talking about the primary whatnot. So I'm like, no, I want to get to
Oh.
my imaginary
I
politics.
was not, for the record.
You're right. You're right, Cargan.
I will come up with that game, though.
Okay.
What game?
Anyway,
I want to still do like a
Yes.
one shot with all the presidential candidates having like certain conditions. Like Bernie Sanders can only roll using percentage die,
Okay.
Oh my
And-
god.
Cannot gain money through.
right?
Okay.
All right.
I am now recording my audio. LaShock, are you recording your audio?
I'm recording my audio.
Great. That is just fantastic. Venrus, give me some news.
Oh, recording.
Wait.
Car-
Wait. What the fuck? Hold on.
Here,
I
Cargan.
fucked up.
The Church of Garaka, I wonder what they say about their hangovers.
Yeah, seriously. Chira,
They
are
hurt
you,
less
Chira,
than
you
a good
ready?
battle.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let me know when to go.
Okay, Chira, start recording now.
I just started recording.
Awesome. Faster.
I
I
had to
am
make
now
sure.
recording this audio revolution.
Fantastic.
Oh, God damn it.
And I said that right as soon as he stopped talking, so I'll know on the back end.
All right, so welcome back, everyone. This is episode 19 of TForce RPG. It's a long story, a tabletop RPG misadventure with myself, GM LaShock of the TForce RPG, and joining with our normal cast of characters and crazy mooks and schmucks. Whatever.
So I was to say, do we drop the mooks?
No, you're totally a mook. You're Hiram the Mook.
I'd like to be a schmuck.
Okay, you can be Schmucksayer.
Okay.
Anyways, so welcome back to our another second part of episode 19, where we just left off the party Venris, Kargan, Hiram, and Chira had all contributed to the worst dinner party possibly ever, and Hasser got blackout drunk attempting to interrogate Yurig and find out useful information.
Everybody brought appetizers. We brought the death of daughters.
We brought all the finesse of a sledgehammer.
Oh yeah.
We brought the entertainment.
So, when we come back, we currently have Hasser drunkenly sleeping off the night.
I'm just gonna have this trash can here with me.
Are you attempting to match your character for drinks? Because last time
Yeah.
something like that happened, Venris literally almost died on stream.
I was about to say it's not very nice to call Yurig a trash can.
Oh. So, when we come back over here, we
I was
have...
surprised at that mother comment.
Yurig's a dick, what can I say?
Yeah.
So, anyways, we go back with Venris, Kargan, Hiram, and Chira, leaving the tent of dinner, and I do believe that at least one person was intending to go find Arimos. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm going to follow Kargan, but I am not leading this charge.
Oh boy. Looks like it's me. I will lead the charge to talk to Aramos about his recently revelation of his daughter dying, and he's blaming everybody here for it. Yeah, let's do this.
Keeping a pretty level head.
So you go off, and it doesn't all that difficult to find the Arimos' tent, so to speak, and his guards are out front, and they see you approaching, and they immediately look for their weapons and kind of take defensive postures.
Whoa. We're here to talk, because a lot's happened, and we need to kind of collaborate to find out what's going on.
Let me see if my lord wishes to see you. The guard pops into the tent, and he says, and comes out, and he says he'll see you, but you will need to leave your weapons outside.
Alright, that's fine.
I pull out my sword and I jam it in the ground.
I put my hammer next to it, Chira's sword, and my axe, and my shield. And for good measure, I take off the bladed belt and I put it next to all that as well.
I take out my composition bow. I set it down gently. I take out my longbow. I draw out my short sword. The flute dart gun, I put that down, but I kind of give him a wink, this is a weapon too. Then I want to point towards the ground with both of my wrists and activate them to dart those two straight into the dust. And then I think I have another dagger. I have four.
You have 5 daggers.
I take the other two out of my boot. And then as I go to walk in, and then I stop and I go, oh yeah, take the last one out of my belt and drop that down too.
They look at the wolf and say he stays outside too.
Oh.
And
all right.
They look at Venris and your spell book.
Me? Oh.
It's a weapon.
What's he gonna do? Beat you over the head with it?
Cast sleep.
Yeah, he's not too good at his soul spell casting thing.
No, I was
Oh.
going to go to the very edge of town, actually, or edge of the festival, and do something myself.
Oh.
Whoa.
So you're going off somewhere else and not going
Surprise.
to Aramos.
Prize, fucking prize.
All right. Well, we'll come back to that. So Kargan, Hiram, and Chira, you disarm and enter into the tent, and there you see Arimos is seated at a table with his, his two compatriots, the blue-haired mage and the armored figure. There's a few and two other guards that are sitting in the back, and a man that you haven't seen before, who literally is that stereotypical hooded figure, he's in a dark gray robe with a hood up over his head, and he's just back in the corner by the fire, not looking up or interesting. He goes, "What do you want?"
I feel like there is a lot of brewing trouble, and I think the most recent events only leads more concern to it. after you had left, Negotiator had mentioned something about the fact that he doesn't necessarily trust anybody who's not willing to reveal the full and true secrets to actions. And while I do have your intent, well, I do understand your intent, I too have slight concerns on what's happening. I can't keep acting in the dark on a lot of these things. And if you say there's darkness coming, I want to be ready for it. As much as the rest of the people here, I believe.
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
Diplomatize that motherfucker.
Fuck.
Come on, be a diplomancer.
I did do that. That's going to be a 34.
Okay.
Talk his pants off, Kargan.
He,
Yeah.
he kind of
Don't do that.
he says, "You would be wise to watch yourself around the El Negociador. He acts himself a buffoon, but he manipulates everyone in the room."
I do have inklings of that. Yes.
He is a good man, but he lets his mummers act, trick people into revealing their hand while he never shows his.
Mm.
He goes, "She is dead. You saw the body?" He kind of
Yes.
like looks up at you, like, you know, so like he looks very tired now.
Yeah. I saw it with my own eyes.
He kind of looks up at you guys and looks over and he goes, "You want to know about the... I don't know if there is a coming darkness. I simply know what has happened in the past, and that I could not allow it to continue in the future."
I think all current darkness is probably going to be seated in the past, so what you know could be invaluable here.
What I know is very valuable, but the problem is that it makes it hard. What I know makes it hard to know who to trust.
That's understandable, considering the current situation.
Why should I trust you?
Because we're arguably the most forthright people you're going to meet in this city.
One thing cannot be denied is your lack of subtlety. I can appreciate that as a warrior. Give me a diplomacy check.
God damn it.
Hey, I'm just to see how well these are affecting him, you know?
I rolled an 18. Hold on. What is my modifier? It's a 1. Why am I even saying that?
But your charisma was a 2.
Wait. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's only a +1.
Thought it was a 14.
No, I rolled an 18.
But I thought your charisma was
Charisma
a
is-
14.
Oh,
14.
my charisma is a 14. So
And
that's
plus
all right.
2.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
should
so
be
20.
Math,
It's gotta be
bitches. Anyways. Chiro rolls up his character using Common Core math.
I might have been using the wrong mods and just using my skill rank and not the actual mods this whole time. So
Oh.
Anywho,
I
moving
quit.
on.
I
moving
quit.
on.
That's all it
Moving
is.
Even when he goes, even when your friend attacked me, poison daggers from the shadows. This whole thing is a mess. He my lord. One man says, and he kind of holds up a hand. He's like, the information I give you could change a lot of what you're currently looking at, and a lot of who you trust and who you don't. Are you sure that you would want that? This is a burden that I've been carrying. But I don't have my daughter, I'm losing a lot of my will. You will share in this burden if you know this information.
The truth is the most important thing.
I know a lot about burdens, let me tell you. My brother and I both.
One more diplomacy check.
Yeah. That is going to be not as good. It's going to be a 28.
Oh no, a 28.
Stop.
Very well. I will not be responsible for what you do with this information.
That's a fair statement.
Gregor had ambitions for uniting the entire continent under Turnog's name. That alone was not enough of a reason. But he was attempting things with magic and his court magician, the grandfather of the Demeye. Ladaverin is the name as he went by, whispering often in the king's ear. They were... Apparently it had been going on for years before I found out, but they were attempting to create, through magic, artificial beings, homoculi, if you will, to be soldiers for a vast army. And they were successful. There was many of them, and they had been doing many of these attempts throughout the land, even at times, and there are people walking around now that are the initial subjects of those testing, and they could be controlled. And when I found out that he had been testing on our people, abducting children, testing on them, and that I could not stand it. And then to find out that Ladaverin had even been testing on his own family, his own descendants. I do not know how far these went. I grabbed what loyal troops I can, and we killed Gregor. And we burnt his horde of fake men in the dungeons beneath the castle. Burnt them all. But you want to know why I suddenly wanted to keep my daughter away from Nathaniel? It's because he is one of those experiments.
Ooh.
And I don't know what that means. I don't know what all they did. And I don't know who else was involved. Bloodbane knew. Many knew. There was shipments of supplies coming in. There's a lot of people involved with this. I don't know all of them, but I know it was more than beyond Gregor, and it was more than beyond Ladaverin. And I don't know where Ladaverin is. But that is why I did it. To protect our people, because our people were being used as lab rats. You want to know why I killed him? That's why. You want to know why I wanted to keep my daughter away from the mice? Because I don't know what they are or what they are capable of. I mean, look at the sister, for God's sake. From a farmer, and she's casting magic on grand scales. Sure, they came from a wealthy family and were probably fairly trained in all this stuff, the magic in the blood, but the rate at which they have grown is far beyond normal. So there you have it. He leans back and he drinks a sip of wine. The man with the blue hair kind of shrugs and he's like, I was one of them when I was a kid.
Well, if you have one of them in your service right now, then why do you have such an issue with the Demeye otherwise? Clearly you trust one of them. And I look at everybody else in the party like, this might explain a lot about Lumalia.
Wait, what? Okay.
I wouldn't jump to that just yet, but it sounds like the former king wished to raise an army.
Aramis shook his head. Finnick here. This was the first one I found. They never completed the tests on him. They had only just begun, and that was when a lot of things changed. I spirited him out and replaced him with the corpse of a child that didn't make it through the testing. So, now that you know this, what will you do with it? I don't know who further to trust. For all I know, any one of you could be one of these subjects. They cast their net wide, from what I understand.
Is there any way to detect what these things are, or figure out if somebody is one of these creatures?
The final product were mindless things that would obey any command by those in charge of them, like constructs or golems even, but they lacked no will of their own. They were disposable, endless soldiers, and I saw them down. The prototypes, the experiments upon altering normal people, I don't know. I don't know where to begin. But that is why. You want to know why? And now it's cost me my daughter. I am tired. But I will keep the rest of the people of my city safe as I can. That is why I threw out the entire regime. So I even threw out the Hawks. Had to be a complete overhaul. Why do you think I was so obsessive with records and keeping track of every person that came in the city, every transaction, everything? I needed to know everything that was happening in Turnog.
Well, we're in the situation that we're in now, and it's clear to me, and I think to the rest of my party here at the very least, that the assassination of Angelica is aimed to keep us at ends. And if that's the end goal of what would be our enemies, then we need to not give them the satisfaction. I'm not saying you settle your political and now very personal straits with the Demise, but you at least need to work with them to try to uncover who's pulling strings in the back end here. And we need to put together a united front.
I will gladly work with anything the citizens of the rebellion wish. But I cannot trust the Demise. They cannot be in a position of further power or influence than they are. If we come to a compromise, I can't have them as members of the government or rallying upon the people or being folk heroes out there. I'm not saying that I wish to kill them, but
like I said, it's nothing about this needs to be political. That's for you guys to work out on your own. What we need to focus on is who is plotting against the unit that is the struggle, and route them out so that we can actually come to a real resolution here without people pulling strings in the back end.
If I were to guess, it would be those that was involved with Gregor and Ladaver and wherever they were getting their other supplies from. I did not come upon it fast enough to be able to track all of these back. That's why I've been attempting to track anything coming in, hoping that things would already been en route by the time I took over and acted so suddenly. But I've had no luck yet. If we can resolve this rebellion, then I don't have to worry as much about that, and I can focus my forces elsewhere. But the Demise, as much as I know, I've known Nathaniel for many years. He is a good man, but I don't know what he is or how well he can be trusted.
You fear the one day that whatever puppeteer is orchestrating this will pull the string.
Yes.
Well, if it helps at least ease your mind a little bit, we do know that the Demeyes haven't seen their grandfather in quite some time, and what's left of his belongings is still in the house, but they haven't seen him.
One could only hope that age has claimed him at this point. He was not a pleasant man and very little in the ways of scruples or morals.
Well, our party is scattered at the moment. Our man Hasser is still in Kerto, investigating what he can about the murder. Venris had some other business to take care of, so we need to take some time and gather based on this new information. But
If you want,
Eremos, I've found light and truth,
if you,
and I have to tell you,
Hmm.
I didn't win that archery tournament. It never even happened.
he just starts laughing like a desperate, sad, but like it's the just I appreciate that in this moment of all times. And he reaches over and opens up a chest and pulls out the quiver with the arrows and hands it to you.
I guess honesty really is the best policy.
The fuck?
I humbly, on a single knee, accept it.
I'm hoping you'd reject it now.
The
And
greatest
I-
story arc is just completed, boys.
Listen,
I hold it in my hands and I look at my party members and I say, "Truth has brought me more than wealth and glory has ever could have. I shall wear this as a badge of honor."
this is as much that as a token of showing that we want that, again, I trust you were brought here, from what I understand, to speak. You know what's going on. Be the middleman that we need. I can't look at Nathaniel and Deacon. If we can end this rebellion, and we can not let my daughter die to make a war come about. Just the rebellion can. I will listen to any demands of the people. We can do whatever it takes, but again, I can't have them in powerful places.
Well, I will speak to the Demeyes. If we can find some sort of compromise where they can at least feel.
Nathaniel wants to go off chasing into the desert after means of resurrecting my daughter. I say let him. I say if he can succeed, then all the better. But if he's lost out there, then we don't have to worry about him.
He's going to go
Yeah.
and attempt anything he can, because I really believe that he cares about your daughter as much as you do, and he's not going to exhaust, or he's going to exhaust any means possible in order to bring her back. That being said, wouldn't it be easier for you to watch over people that you're not trustworthy of if they were closer to you?
I need to secure my walls before I can start thinking about keeping my enemies closer. 2 months. 2 months and 2 weeks is the time I've had. 90 days. For those, fun fact, in
I was about to say.
Vestralon, there are 9 days of the week and 4 weeks in a month.
He's very happy to say this because he came up with it 2 days ago.
I've been working on it. It's just finally done.
So,
Thank you.
do you mean
Anyways.
to tell me there are 36 days in a month?
Yes,
The longest month
But
ever.
then how many months are there?
9.
9.
Oh my god!
This has been fun with calendars.
Anyways,
So, listen, if you think that at least bringing some sort of peace and resolution to the political matters at hand takes priority over the investigation, then we can arrange for that. But we are going to need some time to gather up our party and to meet with the Demeyes and maybe not necessarily explain everything that's, that we're aware of, but at least get them on the same page and to the negotiation table. So let's say, how many days do we want to take to do this? A council in a week?
The council's, from my understanding, the Ghost Resort has us all meeting every night for dinner and discussion throughout the festival. The festival is a month long. I do not intend to stay here for that entire time, but
I don't imagine these things are going to happen overnight. You're going to have to give us some time to meet and discuss. So let's connect tomorrow.
I have no intention of further action on a large scale. I will defend against any attack, but Ternog is attempting to shore up its walls at this moment. Do what you can. The quicker you do it, the less lives that can potentially be lost in the process.
We'll try to find a compromise. And of Nathaniel, I assume that if he were to somehow find a way to resurrect your daughter, you would not be trusting of it. That's why you were angry earlier.
Resurrection is a tale from the old times before the reckoning, back when the gods still favored us. No one has been known to have been brought back to life in ages.
But it once existed. There's no reason why it couldn't again.
While I want to believe in it, I will not place my bets upon it.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about now, don't we?
Please, I am tired if there's nothing further.
I don't believe so. If you have any need for us for anything, let us know.
This is also why I worry about the prince, Gregor. I don't know if he himself was one, or what that could mean. He shrugs.
Should we tell him about the crown?
About the summoning? Yeah.
About the crown having a mind of its own.
That's pretty standard. I'm more concerned about the thing being a piece of a summoning.
Okay.
That seems a little wary.
There's some shit going on with that crown.
Yes, it's a powerful magic item, forged at the founding of Ternog.
Do you know anything about the other two items that are connected to it?
What other two items?
The
What
item...
connection?
The item itself seems, aside from its ability to charm followers and give them an air of confidence, it seems to have another component and a part of a summoning. But it's a piece of, not a summoning item in and of itself.
From my understanding, that crown was forged back in the times when there was remnants of magic from the Divine Age. Whatever powers that were put upon it, I cannot begin to speak of what they could be. I mean, you're talking about things that happened. Ternog was founded 900 years ago, or more than 900. I'm sorry. Ternog was founded 1,200 years ago. What could have gone into that, and what lost magics could be floating around? It was somewhere around 200 years after the reckoning that it was founded. Who knows what could have been put into that, or what it could apply to. Those secrets most assuredly passed with King Terrace and Raxon, the leader of the Hawks at that time.
Feels like there's a lot of secrets that need to be uncovered to get the full depth of what's going on.
My young friend, the world is nothing but secrets. Everyone has their own agenda. Everybody has hiding something, and there are 5 reasons for every one thing that happens.
Brother, I think we need to go back home. I feel like we have answers there.
That's gonna pose some problems.
Possibly. Maybe under some sort of diplomatic immunity under the king of Arimo. We might be able to finagle some rules.
Oh,
Please, I must rest now.
Of course.
I have $1 to mourn.
I understand. All right, guys, let's go and recoup.
do we really have to go home?
So, meanwhile, Fenris, where were you going?
Hold on, pump the brakes really quick. Does the quiver give me any stats?
God damn it!
No, it does not.
It's just made out of dragon scales?
And it has 10 arrows made of solid gold.
Okay.
It's really
You wanna
fancy
get
and
platinum.
expensive.
Just
It's an ornamental piece.
anyways, I'm gonna be skirting off to the edge of the festival,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna start pulling out all the dragon bones from my bag of holding.
Okay.
And once I complete that, I'm going to cast the scroll of Desecrate around it.
I'm going to need a use magic device on that.
Oh, with pleasure.
Crit, fail, crit, fail,
With
crit,
great
fail.
sadness.
15 plus 12, 27.
Oh, Jesus.
Plus 27. Let me take a look here.
I guess it's 1 plus the caster level of the scroll for the DC.
Oh no. It's 20 plus the caster level of the scroll.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. I have some quick maths to do. Because
Math.
This is why we're going to 5th edition. All the is .com.
oh god.
And we're
let's see
trying to
here.
resurrect a bone dragon. I'm assuming. I just came back. What did I miss?
You're right. And your bard song was beautiful. I'm raging right now.
There's one problem with that. What's your wisdom?
It's pretty high.
But is it high enough?
It's 10.
Ooh.
That's not high at all.
It's not high
That's
enough.
basic. You basic wisdom bitch.
Your wisdom is not high enough to emulate that divine scroll.
Why not?
Because in order to do, in addition, casting a spell from a scroll requires a minimum score, 10 plus the spell level, and the appropriate ability.
Yeah.
And that being a cleric spell, the appropriate ability is wisdom. And if so,
Yeah,
if you don't have a sufficient score in that ability, you must emulate the ability score with a separate use magic device check. So I'm going to need another use magic device check.
Okay.
Ben was gonna explode now because he's not a wisdom guy.
You said
It's gonna make him cry.
You said? The Shocky said wisdom device. Natural 20, by the way.
You need to use... Okay.
And I'm not shitting you. It's a.
I believe you. I believe you.
But this is supposed to be the easy part. Phase 2 is going to be a little bit harder.
So, what is your actual total? I mean, that's high enough. So, yeah, no, you emulate.
32, technically.
Okay, all right, that's what I need to know because.
Jesus.
So yeah, you managed to successfully cast the Desecrate.
Easy part down. I'm gonna take out my 4th level scroll of Animate Dead,
Oh, jeez.
and I'm going to attempt to cast it on the skeleton. And I'm going to try and make it a bloody skeleton, using up all of my hit die.
Okay,
All of it.
make the use magic device check.
Come on.
I want this to explode so bad.
16 plus 12, 28.
Plus 12, 28. Oh boy. Let me do some quick math here.
The math. It's time for math. This
I've
is
taken
what I'm going
2
to
feet
math.
just so I can do this one thing.
That's absurd.
For a system that's going to be changing within
I
the
want
next
this
couple
dragon to
weeks.
explode so bad. Like the dragon just like resurrects, like fuck this, I'm out, and just flies away. You're like, well, I just released the bone dragon to the world. Fuck.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I would do anything for this dragon to eat you.
With
I
this-
would do
with
anything.
this lack of head.
Hold on a second here. This gets a little wonky when they're... Okay, now, for the material component...
Oh, I'm casting blood money on myself.
Burning all that blood money.
Okay, so... Alright, we had done this math earlier before. Man, this is... You are really...
Yeah, I take 2d6 damage and I take 2 strength out of myself. I deal 10 damage to myself and I'm at 6 strength.
Okay.
Yay.
God.
So let's see here. So that was a 28 on that use magic device, the minimum caster level. Now you do also realize that this uses the caster level of the Animate Dead scroll and not your abilities. So that
Yeah, I
doesn't
know.
include your feats that increase the ability of the scroll here. So let me do some quick math.
Well,
So
even if
the
if
scroll,
Let's do
the
some
scroll-
long math.
The scroll is at 7th caster level, so you are effective enough to cast it.
Okay.
However, let's see here. So that is it doesn't affect. Let me see here. You can't create
Good God.
more hit die of undead than twice your caster level with a single casting of Animate Dead. Desecrate cast it. So 28. It's not high enough. Because the scroll uses the abilities of the maker, not you.
not true because I also have spell realization.
That doesn't add to the scroll. Your feats don't apply to the scroll.
No, but with Desecrate as well, it's 4 times that.
It's with Desecrate, it's double that, right? So it's 28. It's a 30 hit die skeleton.
No, I did this
And-
math. I know I have. I need to.
You factored in your specialization and your feat of Undead Master into it, which doesn't count for the scroll. If you had made the scroll, it would count. However, with the scroll being made by somebody else, it uses their casting abilities. You don't get to draw upon your own power when drawing from a scroll. It is insufficient to be able to resurrect this dragon.
I think I might just cut the audio right at that point. Just like,
I'm sorry, but that is...
Nudger states what he wants to do. That's what happened.
The best song I've ever sung will be deleted from the annals of history. Only our Twitch members will know of the great song I sung.
Like, from casting from a scroll, if you had the spell yourself and were at next level, you would be able to do it, having emulated Desecrate. But from the scroll of Animate Dead, it's not enough because.
All right, I'll just ask you it after game, just to not waste time. But I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
No, because it uses the spell. The
No,
craft of
it's
the
fine. It's
scroll.
fine. We can move on. But
Holy shit!
we can move on.
And refusal to admit defeat. What a long noodle.
Wow, he's so in character. This is amazing.
Oh,
I'm just
All
saying,
right, so what were we doing again?
he was attempting to resurrect that, but realizes that because it's from a scroll and not his casting, his specializations into that spell are not effective to it.
Oh,
'Cause
you
it's-
mean like feats that you take you don't apply to scrolls?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had that conversation before.
Yes, we have Kargan. So, you up there and you're typically realize that there is not enough power in this scroll. And it's frustrating because
It's close.
you know
It's very
that
close.
You're very close. So you're not able to resurrect this full undead dragon because of that. And that's frustrating. Let me see here.
all right. I guess I just walk off then, sad and depressed.
You're like, so close!
So you turn around.
Charlie Brown music plays.
You
You
turn
kick a
around
can.
and your father is standing there watching you.
Daddy?
Great, just who I just wanted to talk to. What do you want?
He looks over at the air and says, "Thank you, Bank." Son,
I don't want to know what.
power comes in time.
So close, though. I'm on the cusp. I want to strangle myself.
Fenris is becoming a Disney villain himself, ladies and gentlemen, like his father. Continue.
He looks over and walks across, looking at the bones. It is an impressive specimen. Where did you ever get it?
I killed it myself with El Negotiator, I suppose.
He looks at you kind of puzzled, truly. And what were you intending to do with this outside of this grounds, home to so many powerful people after you resurrected it?
I point at my robe. I was going to store it in here, and no one would ever know.
Clever.
Element of surprise.
Oh, god damn it.
No one expects giant bone dragon attack.
So mad right now. I hate myself.
He, nudges some of the bones with his foot. So then what will you do now?
Guess I'll put it back in my bag.
We'll try it again later. You'll see. I'll have a bone dragon.
As time progresses, and once I become a more powerful, maybe lich, I will take control of this thing.
Is that only your end goal, to live forever in a state of undeath?
Do you realize how little time we have on this earth? Us humans, we can only live, 60 if we're lucky? Ugh, what can you do with that sort of time? I might as well spend these 40 or so years of my life to gain immortality, to have forever to do whatever I want.
I mean, yeah, it's taken him at least 20 years to resurrect a goddamn dragon.
No shit. That's right.
Oh, God. He goes, interesting. Well, I suppose I will leave it to you. In light of all these new revelations, does it change your perspective on our last conversation?
Tell me, how did you kill her? Forget her name. How did you kill her?
Angelica.
I did not kill Angelica.
Okay. What sort of magic did you use?
I did not use any magic. Nothing,
God.
nothing by my hand or spell ended her life.
Try his words. His words may have done it.
I am quite curious in your magic. Do you know who exactly did it?
What makes you think that I know that, son?
Because you are a fine divination caster and you know many things.
This is true, but it does not mean I would share them all with you. You are growing in power, but you are still very erratic.
Well, that is the best thing to do when you're still alive, being erratic.
What?
What?
There's that basic wisdom bitch score coming into play.
Well, good night, son. And he walks off.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
I slowly start dragging the bones in my bag.
A few of them are lifted by an invisible force and go into the bag.
And I walk off.
Have we met up with Fenris yet, or are we still kind of like, meh?
This was going on while you guys were having your conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No.
that might have been okay.
So is anybody in any sort of denial that Bank is one of those creatures?
We don't know that Bank's around anymore, so I can't make that assertion. Because I assumed him to only be human.
So you guys are walking out of the tent and walking your way through, and you see a very sad-looking Venrus walking back towards his tent. like very defeated look on his face.
Veners, you okay? You look like you asked somebody out and they said no.
Yeah, what's wrong, buddy?
I give up. I give up on necromancy. I give up on it all. Screw this. I'm learning other magics.
Okay.
I pull out like a dragon's head, like the tiny version of it.
You didn't have
To
its
shrink
head.
down. No,
I never
dude,
had a head.
Oh yeah,
You
the
had-
wing.
It was headless. You had the rest of it.
Yeah.
I'll take out the shrinked up version of the wing. I tried casting the animate dead on this thing, but
Yeah.
I can't. This is my
Well-
4th time.
He's tried this.
I mean, there are probably more suitable, if I'm using the right word, suitable magic you could probably pursue. Like, I wouldn't hate you not being a necromancer.
I think we would all not hate you not being a necromancer.
But
Have you considered becoming a cleric?
That's a huge step. I wouldn't go that far, Hiram, but I don't know. Wizards are like very, very versatile spellcasters, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, but you know, I feel like I just wasted these past couple months animating dead for nothing.
I
Well,
I grab Hiram. I go, hey, or not Hiram. I grab Venus. I go, did you learn anything in these past few days?
As he says that, you hear a voice go, "Shop at Magnus's Magical Goods. Use the promo code Venrus for 10% off." As a Venrus clone comes stumbling by with this word repeating on loop, holding out pieces of paper.
Is that the owlbear one?
It's the owlbear one.
see, this is why I cast necromancy. This reason right here.
Oh, but have you learned anything in the past few days? Is what I'm asking you.
But if I'm going to cast anything evil, I should always consult you guys first.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Is you tried, but you didn't succeed. Did you learn why and
I
how?
actually like what he just said. Can we continue with that?
I agree, brother, but I'm trying to point out something to Venrus. Did you learn anything in the past few days with these castings and all that other jazz?
I'm not powerful enough yet, as much as it makes me sad.
And I go, at that point, I go, yet. It takes time to learn things. You'll
But
get.
I'm 17. I'm gonna be an adult soon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't understand. You barely just started living.
But I'm so close to death.
No, you're not. You're not even halfway there. Not even halfway there.
Yeah, and unlike Hiram, you're not living on a prayer.
Yeah, like
I was trying to find a way to bring that in, but
I mean,
yeah,
if
that
you,
was
eat right,
awfully
if you
done.
eat right, exercise, and all that other stuff, you can live like 80, 100 years.
Speaking about healthiness, how much weight have I lost recently?
You haven't lost any weight.
Of course, I haven't ate anything because of my
The ring of sustenance maintains you.
Wow, I love that
You're
subtle
not gonna.
flip on.
You're not. You're not. You just found the most interesting way to flip me off. I appreciate that.
All right, well, lots happened in the past couple of days. I think we need to like reconvene and like recuperate.
All right, I'd love to hear your magical tale.
So, are you going to? It's getting late at this point. Are you? Going
Yeah,
to
we're gonna.
reconvene here, or are you going to try and go back to Kerto and get a hold of Hasser, or?
Well,
what's your-
we got to go to the
We-
pavilion. We got to go to the pavilion and talk to the Demeyes, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
We definitely need to get Hasir here, though.
Yeah, that would be good, but we also need to kind of not leave Kerto abandoned.
All right, do we still have that raven?
Hasser has it.
Hasser has the Raven.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So you
Well-
guys
Yep.
at the pavilion tent, you see Deacon and Tabitha sitting outside by a fire.
Fake magical creature say what?
What?
Gargan! You're not supposed to be one of them.
I need to get used to your new jokes. I'm not familiar with them.
Hello, friends, Deacon says, throwing up a hand, and Tabitha looks up and smiles, and
Hey, where's Nathaniel at?
He's gone off to. He's pursuing that information. He's gone off to talk to. I believe her name was Ariel.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's probably going to be an uphill battle. She's kind of snobby. Like, really.
She was surprisingly nice to me, considering, exiled and all that stuff.
I mean, yeah, nice in a condescending way, trust me.
All right.
But anyway, okay. We spoke to Arimos a bit about the whole situation between Turnog and Kerto.
I see.
If you guys have a list of things that you guys want, I'm pretty sure Arimos is going to be more willing to listen. He seems to be erring more on the side of diplomacy, especially due to the current situation.
And do you think that we should do that and not fight for our freedom? He kind of gets more of a, not an angry look, but like a quizzical look, like it's not something he expected from you.
Well, if you guys can find up some terms and agreements that give you guys the said freedom, you guys could still be a part of Turnog. Or am I wrong in that assumption?
I think regardless, what's happening here is someone sees it to their benefit to have this war continue as long as possible. And even if you can't immediately come to terms with what's going on, you at least need to realize that you're being manipulated by somebody outside of Aramos's camp, and the best thing for you to do is to work with him to discover who would have the mutual hate against you both.
Can I get some diplomacy checks from Cargan and Hiram?
Yeah.
Hey.
Can you? Yes. Should you? Well,
I'm going to say you're assisting Cargan's because you followed him up.
all right.
Does a 23 do me any good?
And a 17
That's
do
enough to
assist.
assist, so by the 8 and other rolls, I make it 25. He goes,
By our powers combined.
no, you have a point. There seems to be a lot going on here. This is getting beyond my head. I'm a farmer, I'm a fighter. I know tactics. This is something else.
That something's playing in the shadows, and
And
whatever it
I was
is.
prepared to lose my life over this, but seeing how Angelica's death has broken Nathaniel. Alright, I will sit and talk with Arimos.
That's good to hear. I think in this situation, finding common grounds to walk aside with, you don't necessarily have to agree with everything, but
Yeah, no, but we're doing it my way. He hops up. Alright, I'm gonna go start these talks.
he needs to rest. You
Oh,
have to
wow.
remember he just discovered that his daughter died today.
Give him till tomorrow at least.
Yeah. The news may be a couple days old to you, but for him it was just a couple hours ago.
He sits back down. Well then, I guess then tomorrow I sit at the table of diplomacy. At this moment, Nathaniel comes walking back towards the fire, and with him is actually the lore master Ariel and her 2 attendants.
Lore Master Nathaniel, how are you?
This man seeks guidance and wisdom into the ways to find old and lost things. Things that I did not believe has been seen for a great many a time. I do not know him. While you may be exiles, your opinion on you are still of our people originally, and I would have your opinion of this man.
Nathaniel? He is the strongest willed person I've ever met. I think anything that he has said can be taken as for truth, and I think his heart will always be in the right place.
Diplomacy for sincerity.
31.
Blessing or not, he's going to go about attempting to do this regardless if you give him information or withhold it from him. He's doing this for love. You may as well provide this information and the chance that he's able to do this, because if he is, it might be one of the greatest feats that we've seen in this age.
She looks up and takes a deep breath. Well, chances such as these, redemption, that is the way of Malay. Very well, I'll give you what aid I can. I don't know exactly. If we knew this, where this was, then we would obviously have already long sought it out. But we have traces, we have rumors, and we have perhaps a captain or two or a ship that would be willing to see to help you with this.
Like Captain Tristan?
Tristane, if you're going to say her name, say it right.
Tristan?
Trisane. She kind of peers her head over and says, she is one that likes to delve deepest into the more dangerous parts of the sandstorms to find the oldest places. She may be. I would then say that she goes and dig through and holds her hand over a piece of paper and magically creates text over it and holds up and hands it to Nathaniel. This bears my seal. Take this to the last oasis. There's where many of the ships coming through, and you will possibly be able to find a captain there that could help steer you. Tristan would be a good choice in that manner.
And of us,
Are you wishing to help him?
I do have a desire to, yes. But I would need to confide with my others before we make a final decision.
If you help this
Not
man,
to mention how strange is this going to get, since I'm not supposed to be going home anyway.
Well, we'll get to that.
we do nothing if not represent second chances and moments of redemption. If you would take it upon yourselves to risk the danger of this to go back and try and help this man, I will allow it. And this may yet earn you your place back amongst our people.
Ooh. You're gonna have a home again.
What about me?
You weren't exiled.
Yeah, you can go back anytime.
Oh, really? I just assumed
Yeah.
I was exiled.
That's what I thought.
No.
You're kind of
You're
you're kind of exiled by association.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Well, I guess you did break me out, so you kind of...
Shh, they don't know that. Bribes happened, and people were released from ships. Don't worry about anything else.
I didn't hear a word.
Then you will go with my blessing and all of the information that we can have to give. The Sand Tribes have little to say in the ways of the political ties and affairs of Ternog, but if this endeavor, as crazy as it could be, or as little chance, it is something that we must believe in, and this man is fervent in his passion, and you speak for him, I see Malay's hand in this matter. I see this could be an opportunity she is presenting us if we are willing to take it and have faith.
And yeah, I got nothing. I thought I did, I didn't.
So,
I'm kind of taken aback. I wasn't
Well,
expecting
if
this.
we're going to go, we need to make plans to do so soon.
We'll need to head back. Yeah.
The sooner the better. I do believe that even finding the miracles of the gods would have one's limits, and who knows how the talks here will go. Going upon this endeavor is to put your faith into yourselves and the gods, and to have faith that the rest will be able to sort things without you.
If nothing, I've always had faith in the gods and myself.
Very well. Then I will support your endeavor.
Really quick. When was the last time you saw Captain Tristan, my lady?
I saw her at the... last saw her at a festival. One that we have every so often in our times.
Did she look had any undead qualities?
That is a very odd question to ask. She seemed vibrant in the full energies of her youth. She has never
See?
been a lively
Do you see,
woman.
Venrus?
Okay, really quick. When I was looking at her, how did she have undead qualities?
Through the detecting of magic, not through visible
Oh,
specimens.
Duh.
I thought like maybe she might have like a skeleton arm, something like that.
God
No,
damn it.
no.
Fucking shit.
No!
It's
I
Bank
wanna-
Junior.
Yeah, she
would've
totally
been a useless
she totally gave Tira a bone job. No.
I hate everything.
Well, then I would make your plans and gather your allies and go from there. I would head to the last oasis. The best way to get there would be from the roads from Turnag or Kerto up there. To go here from Victoria Point, you'd have to go around the mountains and up across past through the desert in an area where most ships don't typically commonly cross.
Very well.
What if we were able to get the Griffins of Stormhaven to give us a ride?
Shira, no, the sandstorms would tear them apart.
Odds.
But it'd be way faster. It might be worth the risk.
Not at all. Not at all.
I can in the morning get you back to Kerto, and
Yeah.
I can teleport you once but a day, and your friend Hasera's there too.
Yeah. We're gonna have to round up at Kerto. Before we continue, anybody here have any objections?
I mean, I feel like we've got some serious shit we're laying out here.
Before we like decide a thing, we should definitely have a Sarah with us.
I agree, but before we head there, I'd like to have
Just saying.
people of like mind. I'm asking now because
I'm thinking we shouldn't leave until we know that Deacon
shouldn't-
and Eremos
Right.
aren't going to totally tear each other's heads off. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't wish conflict with him, and the rest of the state council leaders will ensure a certain level of civility, I'm sure. Tabitha, if you take them back, will you watch over Kerto, or you go with them? I'll do whatever's needed, brother. He nods.
How long has it been since I put in my order for the armor?
The armor should be... Actually, the armor should be done in the morning.
Oh, we can't leave until this morning.
I mean, yeah, she
that was
can't
the
tell.
port until
Yeah.
tomorrow anyway. She just teleported
Yeah.
you here tonight.
Yeah.
Okay,
We've got a busy
awesome.
day.
Very
Lovely.
well, then I will leave you all to your plans. Best of luck, and keep the horizon ever in your sight. Lorester Ariel nods and walks off with her attendants.
Thank you, Lore Master.
Then
Thank you, background noise.
Nathaniel just kind of sits down and is like, I don't think I'll be able to, but I'm going to try to sleep. I want to get this going. If there's a chance that I can have my love back, I'm going to take it.
I nod and I go, but keep your head about you. That's your strongest trait. Losing that may be detrimental in this, so don't lose it.
Because let's be honest, if you lose your head, I'm gonna grab it for you.
He looks at you quizzically, shakes his head, and just kind of goes in to lay down.
I bump Venrus. I thought we talked about this.
I'm still on the maybe.
Is there any other plans that you guys are making before crashing for the night?
No.
Is there anything else you're doing in the morning aside from Hiram retrieving his dragon scale armor?
I'm gonna stare sadly at the 3,000 gold's worth of adamantite I haven't turned into.
Yeah, I have to have a talk with you about that as well.
I'm going to give the golden arrows, save one, to the priests of Ramil to use for whatever they need to sell, do whatever.
Okay. So then, and
But I am saving one.
all right. So you guys rest. It's a peaceful night's sleep, and in the morning, you retrieve your dragon scale armor and
You.
you drop off your arrows and Tabitha teleports you all plus Nathaniel to Kerto. And you find a really, really, really hungover Hasser in the morning, with a lot of obscene things drawn in charcoal upon his face.
Oh, dick.
I was wondering if
However,
I would just be
Has-
able to leave Hasser's audio out of this episode.
Almost.
Almost. Close. So close.
Oh, I mean, so you find him there in the morning, and we will next episode we will begin with you guys preparing for your trip into the Great Wastes, the land of the Sand Tribes, the former foundation of the Odal Empire, and where the Great Reckoning happened. So
Please tell me we didn't level up. Please tell me we didn't.
you did not level up.
Thank you.
No.
So
Like,
That's all I wanted to know.
so
No, I
Okay.
want
so for
my Paragon Surge.
So for everyone here, we are going to be going for here. We are going to be converting to 5th edition. There's not going to be a game next week. I'm sorry, because we're going to take some time to get all of that set up amongst ourselves, as well as we are going to be allowing it to catch up on some of our production, because we're currently 6-7 episodes ahead on recording than we are versus releasing as a podcast. So
Yeah.
we'll find some. What we will do, however, is we won't be recording it. But if you want, we will when we're sitting around and introducing everyone to 5th edition. We can start amongst ourselves, and we'll probably stream it just in case anyone wants to check in and hear us talk about what our characters are becoming. I think we can at least, and we can do Q&A in the process. So
Easter. Wait, so
So-
we're not going to get to level 7, so I'll never get Paragon Surge?
Never. It'll never happen. I'm
This is
sorry.
the worst day ever! I've
so
been waiting for this for since
Yeah.
the beginning of
anyway,
time!
You won't get Paragon Surge. I won't get my dragon. Jeez.
Anyway.
That's hey,
Anyways,
we had this
anyways.
conversation. Everybody must make compromises.
Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and so again, check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube at TForce RPG. Email us any feedback at tforcerpg@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. Leave us a review on iTunes. We're on Stitcher now, motherfuckers. Leave us a Stitcher review, something. Give us feedback. We like to know what we're doing. Tweet at us. Tell us that you think that I've got a stupid face. I don't care. Please, someone tweet at me that I have a stupid face. It'd make my day. So we're going to go ahead and cut the audio here for the podcast, and we will see you all soon. Good night.
See ya.
All right. Well, just so we are still on the stream, because in case anyone's got any little bit of so here there's going to be some after episode chat for anyone who wants to join in on it, because apparently the Twitch viewers liked that last time. So we'll start exporting the audio, and you all can tell me about how much you hate me for not getting to level 7 in Pathfinder before we convert. I know.
I'll get over
No, I
it.
love it.
Like, I'll get
I-
over it.
I'm okay with it.
I'm just mad because level 7 I finally get to cast their level spells, and I was immediately going to use permanent, like light or whatever, to make my meteor hammer always on fire.
How is our magical items
We'll-
going to transfer over?
I mean,
We'll
I will
work on
just.
it.
I'm about to say most of them will do just fine, with just
Okay.
changing a few things of numbers and everything, because you guys don't have a lot of super stat-based magic items at the moment, so there will be a lot that we'll just be able to finagle with.
Oh, and did my because like the stuff that we were doing really wasn't like physically straining. In the time that's passed since I was cured, has my disease gone
It's not
anywhere?
not more yet.
Thank you.
Okay.
But well,
It's all right. I'm getting
that's okay.
rewarded. I'm getting rewarded for my goodness. I've got that stupid quiver.
What does the quiver do again?
It's
Nothing. It's just
Nothing.
made out of dragon scales.
It's
Oh
just
my
very
God.
attractive.
What am I going to do with all my scrolls?
You can still use scrolls. Scrolls are still a thing in 5th edition.
No, but like the scrolls that aren't in 5th edition.
We will
Yeah.
convert to the best applicable spell. Plain and simple.
So scroll of cure light wounds would become scroll of cure light wounds. Grease is grease still a thing?
Yeah,
I'll have
Grease
to
is still a
double
thing.
check that. And that's stuff that we'll go over like when we're doing the whole conversion thing
Yeah.
next.
It is.
Yeah.
It is the word. I think we should do, because I feel like our community draws maybe some people who are first time,
Mhm.
like maybe not a ton of experience. Maybe we should do like a 10 or 15-minute segment of for if you don't know what the difference is, here's the
Yeah.
basic things that are different from 5th edition to from Pathfinder to 5th edition.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see why we shouldn't. Wait, what the hell? I don't see why we can't record next Tuesday if we're just. I think if we're just shooting the breeze, like we could also like dig for questions and all that too.
Well, I say we're gonna stream it at very least, and if we do anything more, we can just release as a bonus episode with even with the warning of no editing, so Mott doesn't have
Yeah.
to.
Well, the only problem that I can see with it is okay, look at the spell, read it, and then we sit here and we read it and we go, okay, I get it.
Well, I mean, I
Like-
guarantee we're going to be asking a lot of questions
Yeah,
while we
it's
go
gonna be
through.
a lot more than that, but and there's for anyone who wants to learn about physician, we can always go ahead and put hey, this is not a regular episode. This is us converting and answering questions about 5th edition, and of course we're gonna be talking shit at one another and saying stupid things.
Oh yeah.
You can't really expect that we won't do anything. Plus we'll Twitch chat. Sparky's he's gonna have a lot of questions about 5e.
You're gonna get to hear me fucking go between 3 different classes on what I should fucking finalize with in the time it takes to do the
So every time you've made a
whole thing.
character.
basically.
Oh.
Yeah. I gotta run though. I'm
Okay.
excited. I love the changeover. As much as I'm just getting the hang of Pathfinder, totally down
You-
to clown. In a new, in a
I
new
think
thing.
of all the people, Mott, you will you will probably like this the most because you were the less focused on the rule intensiveness of it all and all of the
Yeah.
number crunch.
And
No,
also,
as
all of the podcasts I listen to that are
Are 5th
Dungeons and
edition.
Dragons are all 5th edition.
Yep.
So,
it's
that'll
just
make-
it's just easier for storytelling. Instead of figuring out all the roles, it's proficiency bonus plus stat modifier roll.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and by the way, it is totally Venris's dad who's pulling all of the shit.
Oh, most definitely.
No, he
thank-
said that he had somebody who was controlling him, quote unquote, or
Yeah.
pulling the strings.
Yeah, no, he's just a pawn, and this bank is one
Of
of
course,
those
that's what you
zombie
maybe would
things.
want to say.
What's his name? The stupid pirate guy
Tig.
Tig was smuggling in the goods for him, and even no, the other guy.
No.
What's his name?
No.
Gregor?
No,
Oh, the
Will.
shitty guy we
Will.
killed.
Yeah.
No,
the-
Will.
You-
With the
Will
dog.
working
Will.
for the Long Arrows to bring in the supplies, to smuggle in the supplies that would be the elements of that big crafting thing. Tig all of a sudden becoming crazy, stupid, powerful. All the pieces are coming together.
I'll say this much. My assumption is that Roy may be the king on this chessboard in particular, but he is not the player controlling the pieces. Bam!
Ooh.
Can
Yeah,
we
what
get
did I
any
just
more fucking chess euphemisms because I can't fucking handle this anymore.
Oh, look. Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know. Maybe us convincing Nathaniel to go was just a part of the thing, and they just wanted us to leave and go to the Sand Tribes to die.
No, I'm not gonna doubt.
We won't die.
We're
won't die.
We're going ham. We're going ham.
All right.
But-
I'm out, guys. I will see you all next week and immediately tomorrow morning to talk more shit about Fenris'
Oh.
family.
Right. Right.
Fenris, I totally support your dragon making abilities.
I'm so close.
Chase your bliss. Chase your bliss. And now, Phil, because I've played more RPG with you for anything, you'll forever be Fenris. Not with all the character notations, but Crazy Phil isn't a person. It's only Fenris Long Arrow.
Fair
It's
enough.
gotten to it's gotten to a point like I've made constantly referring to you guys by your characters in the game that I start thinking to you a lot of times as your character names of you. And also to answer Sparky's question, what does a bonus action in 5th edition encompass? So 5th edition, the different actions that there are, and these are simple. There is movement where you can move your movement speed. And then there are actions. These encompass things like attack, casting a spell, using a bunch of things. And then there are what's called bonus actions. Now, everyone gets a single bonus action a turn. And what things can be a bonus action is most of the time determined by your class and abilities. So, for example, disengage.
A barbarian raging is a bonus action.
Right. Well, for example, even like disengage is an action that you can do that allows you to make your movement without provoking reaction attacks from your enemies. That's normally an action. So if you're disengaging, that's your whole turn. But rogues gain the ability at level 2 or 3, I can't remember, to use disengage as a bonus action. So what that does, it's like a swift action, exactly. Except for that each class has different ones that promote different ways of using it. So that way it's not as many bogged down things.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna head off here.
Later,
I'll see you guys in Slack.
Peace.
Maybe I'll do more next week.
Hey, you drank Uric under the table.
Right. My plan was flawless.
Don't worry, if the band's
This
back
is-
together, we're going to be touring out in the sand waste, baby.
Yeah,
Alright.
and that's one of the difficulties in when parties split too. Is
We should really not
time
split up the
focus.
party too much, honestly. We've been doing that a lot recently.
Right, but I mean, like at the same time, like in character, why the fuck would I leave right now and
No,
leave
it's-
Kirito completely undefended with the possible murderer?
It makes total
Right.
sense.
Right. Well, I mean, there is a little bit of in all role playing this odd amount of meta that you almost have to put in with it to keep a party
what?
going together.
Turn it on.
Simply
Yeah.
because
Yeah, you can talk.
if, at some point in time, there is
You're
this
good.
underlying thing of okay, we're a party, we're working together.
can play this if
and
you want.
having individual
play.
motivations that are too far
on.
and wide would make no sense for your character to stay with the party.
You know.
So that's why there's a little bit of meta in that, and splitting the party in certain degrees isn't a horrible thing, like when running errands or whatnot. But when you get into these like high discussion role playing moments, it gets real difficult to spread the time. And
I do want to say it's really good that Venris wasn't there with Ghost Bank during our conversation.
Yeah.
There was.
I was getting super paranoid that I remembered he wasn't there. I'm like, oh, wait a second, he's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, and to answer Sparky's question about advantage and disadvantage in 5th edition, what 5th edition does, instead of having a bunch of floating like, +2 circumstance bonus to attack and +2
Luck modifier.
instead of having all of that, most
You
things
just
will
take
give you like
the-
advantage or disadvantage. So like if you are attacking, from surprise, instead of worrying about flank and all these other this and that, you have advantage. So you roll twice and take the higher number. Or sometimes you're at disadvantage, where you roll twice and take the lower of the numbers. And this can, be in combat situations, or if there's something that's just, making it in your favor. You're presenting the merchant with their favorite wine to try and schmooze them. Oh, well, make a persuasion check with advantage because you're using these things to make it more likely for you to succeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I am heading off now, so I'll see you guys later.
The look on his face just before he signed off. But yeah, that sort of streamlining is one of the reasons that we're converting, like for Sparky, is because as you see when we got logged in with the whole figuring out Venris's complicated spell castings and scrolling using,
Jesus.
like there's a lot of rules that we could go back and forth on because there are so many. It can bog things down and.
And also too, like a lot of like spells in this game, I'm noticing there's some interpretation that happens. I think the notable example was like that spell that
So
here-
fought?
yeah. No, not so thought. The one where you're allowed to stay up all night, but if you like
Oh,
take
keep
a really
watch.
bad dump, then you have to go to bed. Keep watch. Yeah, thank you. Where you have to sleep the 8 hours, because like as I had read the spell, it was like, okay, you just got to make up like the 4 hours that you would have normally needed to sleep after that and all that. But you were going like 8. Like there's a whole lot of interpretation with like Pathfinder, and shit gets kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Past.
it's just really hard. It's not that it's hard, but when we're trying to put it in the format of a show, and
Right.
everything. Oh God, Scott. For one,
What?
McCool is for spelling my name wrong for one, and saying that I talked to Matt Mercer before. Which no, I got him to tweet at me. It's an entirely different thing.
It's almost. It's the first step.
First step. Right. You know, we are working on some tentative interviews with people from other gaming podcasts down the line. I can't say who yet, simply because it's not. We don't have a scheduled date, and I don't want to start. So I guess. Oh God, did I just do an announcement of an announcement?
Yeah, you did.
Yep, you just pulled an Adam
Fuck.
Cogswell. Congratulations. You're
Congratulations.
officially a podcaster in the Trinity Force
congratulations.
Network. You've done it.
I'm excited about the whole thing you're about to do, but can't talk about it because it's that fucking cool.
Well, no, it's cool. It's just I'm in talks with. Fine, then fuck, I'll say it. I'm working to schedule an interview with a Rom of God's Fall. Fuck it, I said it. When it works for his schedule. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Then no.
You know what? I'm glad. I'm really glad you weren't a pussy about this. This is the fucking. I'm proud of you.
I mean, this is going to be the Twitch viewers now. Anyone who watches on YouTube that sticks around for the after talk, fine. So we're working on that. He's got a busy schedule and all the health stuff going on right now. So we're really looking forward to but he said he was up for the idea. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't, then, well, I'm sorry to disappoint the people that found out, but everyone's lives are everyone's lives. Right. So yeah, but we'll be going forward with 5th edition from here, and a few people's transitions are a lot easier than others. Kargan's is literally the easiest transition of anyone.
Yeah, it's kind of great.
He took one look at Bard College of Valor,
And he was like, "This is better than anything I imagined. Fuck Paragon Surge. I didn't even want it."
No, I kind of still want Paragon Surge. I love Paragon Surge. It's like I get to go grab a feat.
Well,
I was really sad that I couldn't get Sacred Geometry because I didn't have the intellect for it.
fuck, you bring up sacred geometry.
I'm really good at it. We've already discussed this. I'm really good at finding like root numbers and all that shit.
To answer your questions, Ricky, Ram is the GM, creator, and producer of the D&D podcast God's Fall, which is probably the craziest level of world building I've seen in anything.
Yeah, he's put so much work into it, and there's a lot of thought into the character. Like, it has some of the better production value, even if it might be a tad little overproduced, but like highest level production quality of almost any show out there.
I also gotta say, Phil Venrus, I was actually rather impressed with your spin off of failing to cast the dragon to giving up on necromancy.
I don't want to be a necromancer anymore.
Two things were either going to happen. I was going to fail, and that's I give up, or I was going to cast it and successfully do it, and then next session, somehow I lose control of it, and then like, oh shit, necromancy is a big no-no.
So your whole point in doing and trying so hard for this was regardless to get you away from necromancy.
I wanted the dragon to be in this world, regardless.
You know, the good thing is, even if you would have rezzed it, it wouldn't be able to bite anything because it doesn't have a head.
Oh, you should see its claw damage.
It should bludgeon people to death with its neck.
Dude, it still has its claw attacks.
And
that's fine.
And tail.
I'm waiting for it to giraffe somebody.
Oh my! Okay, neck slap would have been amazing. I give
yes,
you that.
It's been great.
So no, yeah, Venrus is going actually into a divination specialist wizard in 5th edition because their abilities are really fucking
becoming
cool.
his father.
Which actually works out kind of really cool in its own way.
What the fuck's going on with this whole homunculus sort of like Full Metal Alchemist shtick?
I mean,
I can see the future now.
He told you exactly what he knew. That
we also did not sense motive on him, so he could have lied.
I don't believe he's lying.
He found out that Gregor was making. I mean, Gregor and his advisor were looking to unite them. They were ambitious. The city-states have not had war between each other in hundreds of years, ever since the Accord, when crazy foreign invaders came over from a different land that they know nothing about. So ever since then, the borders have all been established, and it's been a mutual defense pact, and it's been political warfare at worst. There hasn't been a war between the city-states and, let me look at my history here.
So it's been a whole lot of dick measuring contests.
700... God, I mean, since shortly after Turnog was founded. And that was, 1,400, 1,200 years ago.
No divine.
Sparky. He still wants to be immortal, okay? And maybe even a lich. Just because he's not focusing in necromancy doesn't mean he can't use necromancy or become a lich or a god.
Well, he's also like the wizard. You have so many more spells in 5th edition as a wizard than you do right now. Like just YOLO spells.
Debatable.
He's just not focused as a necromancer.
You don't have as complicated spells, but you have just as many.
I can still. Yeah,
but
the reason why I'm not like going to necromancy is because I can't actually control large creatures, only medium and small. And to me, that doesn't sound like fun. So I'm still going to become a lich, but I'm going to.
You can't break the game. Not fun.
Disagree. A necromancer could still break the game if he literally high enough level and dedicated all of his spell slots to animate dead, because of the sheer number of undead he could swarm at people that use his proficiency bonus for attack and damage rolls. Like, it would literally it could
get crazy.
It could get fucking nuts. I mean, of course, they would also be, like, it's a horde of these zombies and skeletons, but regardless. The cult of Venerus can still go on. He's still seeking to be immortal or a god or whatever he can do. All he knows that he's a 17-year-old kid with magic in his hands that wants to live forever so he can really experience the world.
You know what? After you told me that, even Vener doesn't know this, but after Gregor somehow has like magical beings that are really good at magic, I think I am one of those things.
Maybe you are.
I'm calling it right now.
Plot twist. He's still going to be using arcane. He's going to be a wizard. The one of the cool things that the cool ability at is the main mechanic of a divination focused wizard. We have another question. Yes, Angry Red Ranger. By all means,
get it.
Ask
Give
away.
it to us. We ready. Oh, sure,
Yeah,
you're gonna love my new bard pet abilities, baby.
Good. Have you seen some of the things that I'm taking?
No,
Also,
not
Sean
yet.
have two
Disgusting.
mics. Okay. The reason that I have two mics is because one is being used for literally the voice chat that we are using through Roll20 and to broadcast over the stream, and the other one is being used specifically for the recording for the podcast.
Most for any of like. Not necessarily everybody on our show. Most of the people on our show have two microphones. I know I have one. I have two that I've set up. You can see it. Second one right here. Mott has his two set up. Kargan's got his two set up. Phil, do you have a setup?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Haber does. Yeah, all of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so that way, it has to do with a lot with the weird ways that adjusting microphone levels and everything. Like I need to be. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I need to actually be louder for streaming than I need to for recording. It's weird.
The other weird thing is too, if you're using we're using in the chat system and the Roll20 system that we're using, like I'm using my headset mic for that, and I'm recording with the nicer mic that actually turns out into the podcast audio. But the thing is, if you're running the nice mic through Roll20 and the audio program that we use, the microphone levels automatically adjust, and you don't want that because, like, if I were to be completely quiet, you would start hearing me breathe very, very loudly because my microphone's trying to, like, compensate for the lack of sound. So, like, it'll be one of those situations where somebody won't say anything for a long time, and the microphone's trying to pick something up, and then they go to speak, and it would be as if they're yelling as loud as they can.
Yeah, things
Yeah,
that you never would have thought of until you start recording out and messing with recorded audio.
Yeah, and then you run into situations where like you're just trying to talk like a normal human being, but you're blowing out your levels because it's your sensitivity on your microphone's tuned up to maximum. I have a bad problem with that because I go from situations where I'm talking really loud to where I'm yelling. That's just something I do. I apologize.
And you'll learn over time too. If you want to yell or do something like that, you get farther away, you get closer. There's a bunch of things you can do, but
Yeah, I'm still trash at that, but yeah.
I like the new setup I have in the new place that I'm in the process of moving into because the room has better acoustics for one thing, and the current chairs, the setup, I'm able to actually have the mic in a better position where I am in a static position more and not rolled back away. But yeah, the things that you learn with doing podcasts, like I had no idea about these sort of concepts. I literally thought, oh, make a podcast, we're just going to record us playing the game and it'll all be silly fun. And no, there's a lot of work going into it. Can I have the light levels for the races in 5th edition?
What's a light level?
We'll go here. So first off, Sparky Hasser is looking at either cleric with war god domain or paladin of vengeance, most likely.
Ooh, that sounds good.
There is
Pally.
paladin oath of vengeance. There is also the chance that Hasser may decide as the character that he's not going to journey with the TFAPs from here, and he will make a new character. We'll see. I mean, Hasser has probably the least standing reason to keep traveling with the group, but he hasn't made up his mind, and that's fine. Because he's on his holy pilgrimage, and a lot of this keeps him from it. But then again, I mean, Challenge of Garako, what sort of battle might he face digging into old ruins of forgotten empires and lost magics and what could be there? That to me is a challenge. Make him fall in love with Magnus. See, Hasser, I don't think actually has real affection for Magnus. I think he's just
he has no feelings,
him.
period.
I think he's just playing him. Hasser has a 6 charisma. He's a bit of a sociopath. No. Magnus, the real question is, does Magnus actually have attracted to him, or does he just kind of flirt to keep him off guard or to do what he things. There has been some interesting letters exchanged between the two, but whether or not there's actually a thing there, it's hard to tell. I mean, I know what's in Magnus's head, but I don't know what's in Hasser's head.
I think whatever's in Magnus's head is revolved around profit.
Which somehow he's not gaining in character, which is really suspicious.
Uh-huh.
He's gaining nothing. Somehow my father convinced him to do this.
Magnus is a very interesting character, and I always look forward to playing him because I've put a lot of thought into his background and what he's doing in the world. So anyways, light races. What your question there, Angry Red Ranger, I'm not sure what you mean by the light. I have the light levels for the races in 5th edition. What do you mean by light levels?
I don't know shit about 5th edition, and I swear to God, this is just a freaking work, so I have to ask LeShock questions on a regular basis again.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm not certain what... God, an imager... Emits... Oh, he's looking at that. Okay, so you're meaning for vision and such? Wow, I mean, races don't typically have a light level on their own. When something comes to emitting light, it has to do from a light source. So you're looking at, like, the light spell, which put forth a 20-foot radius. So most races don't emit a light. Most races in 5th edition, for example, actually have a level of regular vision or dark vision. Low light vision is no longer a thing. You just have either 30-foot dark vision or 60-foot dark vision. Light levels literally has to do with projected light. So you have the light spell on you. You have a torch in hand. You have a glowing magic sword. These are what light levels are.
God damn it, Caleb.
Blind vision and blind sense are things that are typically not available to players and are a monster thing.
Yeah.
A lot of the Pathfinder, a common issue with a lot of systems, and eventually I'm certain 5th edition will fall victim to this, is what's referred to as product bloat. And that is where you just keep producing so much content over time that you end up with more rules that you can handle, more alternative options, and the constant need to push the bar higher. So when 5th edition rolled back with this new thing here, their blind vision, blind sense aren't things that are available to a typical character, honestly, because those are things that are normally reserved for monsters that makes them more difficult to fight. Because what 5th edition is trying to get back to is the concept of you're a party of adventurers that are out dealing with monsters and trouble and stuff like that, and less weird superpowered god beings at times. And they're trying to reestablish class identity, which is something that Pathfinder really kind of lost there towards the end. Every class was every class, but that's just my own personal thing there. I'm not sure if that answers your question, Angry Red Ranger, because it looks like you're trying to input into Roll20 what the light levels be, which they only will have light levels if they are emitting light by carrying something.
Like a torch or the light spell.
Yes, or a glowing magic something or other. These are the reasons one would emit light.
And I could spend a week building Kargan from the ground up again.
Wow.
Seriously?
It's not that. It's making.
I already made my guy, so I have to wait for 2 weeks now.
Making a 5th edition character is actually very quick. Just deciding a few things. Now, our guns allow in 5e. 5e doesn't have any standing rules for guns right now. However, Matt Mercer has created a gunslinger
based on
archetype,
Percy.
Oh,
which
Fucking
is
love that, dude.
available for your choice of purchase or free through the DM's Guild on Dungeon Masters Guild. So, like, if you go to that, this is something that 5th edition Wizards D&D has recently done, and this allows people to create their own D&D content and attempt to sell it. You'll see Gunslinger is the #1 most popular DM's Guild titles. The Gunslinger archetype made by Matt Mercer for Percy, an awesome character from the amazing D&D show Critical Role, which is everything I want us to be able to be. And I think we're entertaining enough, we're just not as well known. And we're not as good with voices, but that's okay.
Hey.
They're voice actors, Kargan. For God's sake, it's their job.
They
I'm
get
working
paid
on
for
it.
it.
I could be a voice actor.
I'm trying. Actually, I think my voices could be better if it wasn't for the fact of headphones, because I can do different accents better when I can hear my own voice more.
Well,
But-
even then, like, the thing that they have on us is that we have to wait for us to finish our sentences, and we have, like, lag.
They're all in the
Compared to them.
same room.
They're in the same
Yeah.
room. God, how I would kill to be able to all of us record in the same room. That would be amazing. But
I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. Don't you start with me.
well, I mean, if enough of us go to PAX, I say we try and make it happen.
Oh, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I would love to. I would love to.
I'm down.
I would love to see Phil gazing intently at me across the table.
I would
Everything
love
you
to
do.
fucking stab Phil in the face in person.
And
Phil, I love you, buddy.
I'm getting excited.
the real best, the great thing would be is if we had Blackhawk there at the table with us, because every single member of our RPG group, like for the podcast, is like 6'1" and above, and then
Except for him.
And Blackhawk
He's a-
is like 5'5" on a good day.
He's a beautiful tiny man.
It's amazing.
Tiny man with very powerful voice.
Yes, I tried to do my best negotiator, but I can't project my voice.
My
onto them.
friends, if you go and do things the way you are supposed to, everything will work out fine.
Don't be a long noodle.
God, if I weren't so congested, I would try, but I'm just still. My nose is still like filled to the brim with like garbage. I hate it. I hate all of it.
Oh god. Well, let's see here. Do we have anything else to discuss tonight, or is there anything else you guys want to bitch at me about for this, or questions?
No, I got it. I got it out. I got it out at the end of the episode.
Okay. I have just developed the world calendar, which is something it's in a freaking Excel spreadsheet. I gotta find a better way to put it into a visible format, but it's a little convoluted, and I like it. Skylar, TForce is looking to attempt to. We have nothing we can say officially beyond the fact that we're working our asses off to try and be at PAX in East in maximum force that we can.
I'm flying to Boston.
Yeah,
and I'm going to stand in front of it and ready to glare
Right.
at it until they let me in.
We're literally at the point that a bunch of us have all taken time off and are deciding that we're going to be at Boston whether we get into PAX or not. But,
That is correct.
So we have this isn't an announcement of announcement. We're going to be at PAX, but what capacity will be at PAX is a whole nother ball game.
And how many tickets do we have for people in the network?
Cargan in the forest, cough, cough. I want to know.
Honestly, we all want to know, LeShock. Please explain what happened.
Kargan in the forest. I mean, I'm afraid that how much of that is spoiling a plot. Was it actually a dream, or was it something he really experienced? I mean...
Oh, motherfucker!
All I know is, Kargan, do not be a long noodle in this situation.
Look, I mean, I know
That was fine.
there's...
I just connected the fucking dot. You son of
Okay.
a...
One thing I'm going to say is I'm not going to answer these, like, is Tabitha the real killer? I mean, Sparky, I'm not going to tell you that. Like, come on now. You'll have to find out if the real killer gets unveiled, which is possible, it may not. These guys could completely walk away from this entire story going on.
Can I, before I go to bed, like the previous night, I know this is super retroactive, can I roll, like, a dice and see if I can remember anything about the dream or if it was a dream, etc., etc.?
I will say, hold on, before we get to
Because
that.
I've been meaning to kind of reflect on that because I'm still confused as
sorry.
shit about that.
Sparky, she is older than Venris, and Venris is attempting to resurrect dead dragons.
Here's the other part of this too, Sparky. The beautiful thing about being a dungeon master is, even if you guessed completely right and Tabitha happened to be the killer, fucking LeShock can just go and be like, nope, random dude Steve on the street corner did it the whole time. You guys have been on the wrong trail.
He'll go, that's interesting. Okay. No, but seriously, though, before I go to bed, I know this is super retroactive, but I should probably reflect on what had happened and if I had dreamed that.
I'm sure we can work on something like that.
All right, and really quick for me before I go to bed. So I know that I can't cast large like undead. So is there any point at all of having that skeleton in my bag?
I'm not
Sell the bones.
Here's what I'm going to say. All right. Well, because again, these are all rules that are meant to be guidelines for fun and not. And 5th edition is especially strong in the rule of fun. What I could say in regards to that is, you could work on inventing your own spell or a ritual of some sort, and you may not be able to permanently control it, but you may be able to temporarily resurrect and unleash it.
Okay, just because I didn't want because Venris wants to hold on to this thing as long as possible. But if I have to metagame and not ever have it, I will.
See, one of the things that I want you to think about as anything when it comes to magic and stuff like this, you guys, one of the things that I would be glad about for 5th edition, because it's a less rules intensive, is less thinking about what you can do in breaking the rules and start thinking of what you can do in general, and we'll figure out what rules need to be used to make it happen. Do you want?
I mean, look at the combination shit that they do in Critical Role too. Like or in Crit Juice is a great example. Like if people do tandem things, like somebody will cast a spell to fling somebody else at something, and somebody you can do way more interesting stuff in that regard because it's a little bit more open to interpretation rather than I was talking with LeShock about this today. Instead of looking at your character sheet for something for every situation, you have way, way, way more freedom to just be like, I would like to try this and see what happens.
Yeah, that's one of the things that in going to a less rules intense system is I want to be able to be completely creative with weird and wacky shit. Do you want to try and resurrect that? Well, it didn't work the way that you're doing. Maybe you need to invent a different way to do it. You know, maybe animate dead the spell isn't the answer. Maybe it needs a ritual or something crazy, or maybe, you know, it's something else. You can become creative in working at it. The rules are there for a baseline simple thing. Resurrecting a dead dragon should be a huge, crazy fucking thing, in my personal opinion. Because holy shit, that's a dead dragon. That's
Big fuck dragon.
which actually, while we were mentioning that, I had to start thinking if I was going to worry about how much the dragon skeleton weighs versus how much weight the bag of holding can hold.
Well, didn't you told me in message that
Oh, yeah, rope. Yeah,
he
rope.
shrunk it,
That's
so
fine.
it's like
Yeah.
not even that big of a deal.
Yeah. Well, I definitely would love to see you guys just working off some bullshit ideas of combo moves. Like, you know, even if it's like, can I use... If Chira needs to jump to the top of that wall, can I use a fireball to propel him upward? And, you know, I'll go...
I'll try it. Though, if I could still stay a Blood Rager, it would have all the damage that I take because of blood stuff. But too bad that doesn't work out anymore. Damn.
I'm excited for some of the feats that I was looking at with 5th edition.
Well, because
You don't get that many feats, yeah.
Yeah, because 5th edition, it's different in that feats are an optional thing. Because what it's really 5th edition is meant to be about is being just more of an open thing where you come up with crazy shit and there's simple rolls to figure it out instead of a whole bunch of different rules and things. So like feats you can take in place of an ability score increase at
Yeah.
levels 4,
And
8,
some
12,
feats
16.
give you an ability score
Yes, but normally
with them.
at levels 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20, or I believe it is, you would get 2 ability points to increase. Either 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. Huzzah, hurrah, huzzah.
So at the moment, we can only have 1 feat at this current time.
Correct.
Unless you're a human.
and going with that Ven, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And also in D&D in 5th edition, it's undersimplified and oversimplified depending upon the information there. There seems to be and actually I was watching a video earlier that was talking about their opinion on perks in the Fallout games, and what I agree with him is that something like a feat should be something that's kind of game altering in a certain way. Like Pathfinder, they became like required little things that just made you hit a little bit more accurately. Or
Let's a really good example of that would be two weapon fighting in Pathfinder, as in comparison to 5th edition, because like in Pathfinder, if you want to fight with 2 one-handed weapons, you basically have to throw every single feat possible into doing it, or else you're not able to hit shit. Whereas, like, it's a little bit more baked in 5th edition. In fact, if you're using 2 one-handed weapons, you get like an armor bonus for having a weapon you can block with.
Well, that's if you have a class.
Take the stuff,
yeah.
right?
But like, yeah, literally, the difference between 2 weapon fighting in 5th edition versus Pathfinder. And Pathfinder,
It's so much nicer.
Well, literally, if you're wielding a second weapon and it's like a light weapon, you can just attack with it as a bonus action. So you get, and the way that they handle multiple attacks is that as you level up in 5th edition and you gain an additional attack, you just gain additional attack when you do an attack action. It doesn't have to be one of those full round attack actions where you cannot move beforehand. And yes, if you have 2 weapon fighting the feat, then you could both -2 on both attacks. If the light offhand weapon is a light weapon, like there's a whole freaking chart.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's you know what, it served its purpose at its time, and it made for an interesting, like when Pathfinder Pathfinder was an improvement from 3.5. Let's get one thing straight there. They simplified a lot of rules. They made some things more streamlined. But the inevitable problem of a number crunchy system like that is the more content that comes out and the more things they make, the harder it is to balance off each other, and it just gets fucking crazy. When you've got, like 20 different classes I think they have, and all of those classes have different archetypes, and you get a feat every odd level, and feats are all dependent upon different ability scores. Like, it makes you get locked into specific builds in certain ways a lot more. The hybrid classes are cool, but the problem that you get with some of the hybrid classes in the traditional sense of this is you have too much overlap, right? In a party with so many people, each character and class should fill a unique role, if you will, that they bring to that they literally bring to the party. Well, when you've got a wizard, a skald, and a blood rager, well,
Everybody has spells. Everybody does everything. I've talked to you about this. The Primalist Blood Rager, which is basically a barbarian that can cast spells, and it has all of the same benefits as a barbarian. Like, there was more overlap than anything. It got to the point where, like, it was broken overlap.
You start having issues of class identity and specialization, and the way that the skill point system worked, it was also easy for basically to feasibly make certain characters that just could do everything and not rely on not have to deal with a party.
Wizards.
No, I
for
mean,
example.
it's not. See, here's the thing. When you look at the argument that being so specialized a role makes you ineffective in a certain sense, no. The idea is it's supposed to be a party-based game. And in a party-based game, you need a specialist for various different things. You know, what do you need? You need that bard for buffing people and being a social interaction. You need someone
You want a
that's
rogue
so
to be able to get through fucking traps and unlock doors and do
Right.
sneaky shit.
You know, you need someone that's like a ranger for like tracking and being good at archer. Like, you actually want diversity. Otherwise, if you don't have diversity, we have in this group currently 3 characters that are focused on power attacking with large two-handed weapons.
Stacking a bunch of passive bonuses to one-shot things.
Now, let's say what happens: a magic two-handed weapon drops on the ground.
We fight over it.
And then we give it to somebody later by mistake.
Yeah. Now, healers, I mean, healing in 5th edition, in my opinion, and healing in any of these games is, it's an interesting thing to look at. But the damage and number scaling in 5th edition is so very different from Pathfinder when it comes to quantifying in a certain manner. Healing is very, very important in 5th edition. Pathfinder, you can deal so much damage just right away. Healing is, you heal after fights, because healing during your turn is like a wasted action.
It's
For the
true.
most, like, unless someone's just pretty much down, you just try to out-damage the enemy before they can out-damage you, because healing is really kind of pathetic in Pathfinder. Like, legitimately, it is.
And we don't have a healer in our party, so yay.
Yeah. But in 5th edition, there are more healing options, including a ranged healing spell in low levels. Like, no, I don't think it's true of 5e, because 5e has a lot more versatile. The best healing isn't always dealing damage, because
I'm out, by the way, guys.
All
But
right.
thank you everybody for watching, listening, all that stuff. We love you guys. See ya. I'll talk to you all later.
peace, Tira.
Peace.
Because you lose an identity in that, and that's the part of the problem, is that it's become Pathfinder is, you start to lose the idea of the group dynamic and the group specialists doing all these different things. But that's a personal opinion, because original Dungeons and Dragons was all about having a diverse group that needed different abilities to solve through different things. Over time, the game became more influenced by single-player RPGs, movies, TV shows, and books, where then everyone wanted to be kind of a Mary Sue main character that could do everything and not need the party.
It's kind of like Chrono Trigger in like this sense. Like with Dungeons and Dragons, you have to have this thing where like everybody hears the hero and they become the main hero in their specialized times. Whether you're a rogue, a warrior, a mage, a healer, a caster, you name it. Where like Chrono Trigger is the main character was Chrono. Everybody assisted the hero. And when you run into a party environment when you have 4 or 5 people, everyone wants to be the hero. And if you run into situations where everyone's specialized, you could run into situations a lot where it's like, this is the hero moment for somebody, but 5 people can fulfill that thing. And you might run into conflicts where people just might feel like underappreciated or just simply feel like that they can't do what they want to do.
Yeah, and actually the big 4 were the original 4: the fighter, the mage, the cleric, the rogue were the original 4 archetypes. And as it became expanded, you got, you gained the bard, you gained the paladin, you gained the barbarian. And in 5th edition, they really did a good job, in my opinion, of making these all feel very different. A fighter and a barbarian are so much more vastly different in 5th edition than they were in Pathfinder. Because playing a Pathfinder fighter, you just get a bunch of different feats that I don't know. It actually made it hard to ever figure out why you would play a fighter over a cavalier or a paladin or a barbarian or a blood rage or any of these other things that all do what the fighter does but better with more additional flair. It's losing class identification that's messing with party dynamic and so much overlap. But anywho, yeah, do we have any other points? Otherwise, I think we're kind of wrapping up a bit here.
I'm gonna have to ask you questions over this next week because I want to do some things with my with Carrigan.
You'll have 2 weeks to figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things is if you are a cleric that specializes, well, it's not so much as pigeonholed into one aspect. Like the problem thing that does, you have to remember this isn't, when it comes to a group dynamic game, it's not just about the one person, it's about the group. A fighter's pigeonholed into just basically running up in the front line. A rogue is pigeonholed into these things. You have a lot of options in your hand. If you're being a cleric, for example, they have a lot of different spells and options at hand, and depending on what domain that you choose, and it gives you all sorts of different ways of channeling divinity and more spells at your disposal. And above all else, what you choose is what helps determine your bonus action. And so and bonus actions are huge, and that's a lot of your diversity. So if you go the life domain cleric, when your healing spells are actually more effective than other healing spells. It heals an additional 2 points plus the spell level on top of the normal healing casting. So at first level, that is 3 additional hit points on top of a D8, like Cure Wounds is D8 plus your ability modifier, which is probably going to be a 2 or a 3. So plus an additional 3 on top of that, you're looking at a D8 plus 5 at level 1. That's a lot of healing.
That's pretty good.
So really quick, are we going to go over next session how I don't have control over my zombie Venuses?
The zombie. Here's how I've treated. You have them all out, either they're in your robe, or they are out selling shit. And I am okay for the sake of the rule of cool and fun if they just become these zombie, for lack of better words, spokespersons that are out roaming the land selling, then that's just a flavor thing and it's fun. You don't have to worry as much about the hard rules when it's something silly like that. Like that's for fun. You want to start using them in combat and things, well then that's when we look at it. 5th edition has only has a limited SRD out. 1 second here, and I can give you the link to that, because they only released so much information to be within the, I guess you could say, It's the SRD, the System Resource Document, or whatever the hell that SRD stands for. I always forget. That they only release so much, so not all of the class archetypes are there, not all of the feats are there, because at the end of the day, they still want you to buy their book.
Yep.
All right, well, I am going to end the stream here now, ladies and germs, because it's like 11 o'clock here. I do have to work tomorrow, and I'm moving this week, so shenanigans.
Oh, bye.
All right. Everyone have a good night. Peace out. Love you.
Bye.